No, we should be on.
I'm on. You're Paul's on.
Can you guys hear me?
No, we can't hear you at all. Oh, good morning, and let's get our heads right on a Friday. Yeah, Woods is just pushing the button. Nothing's happening over there. Paul has got no idea.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear myself.
I can't hear either of you guys.
I can hear myself. I can hear Paul. Woods can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything.
Can't hear anything. That's crazy. All right. Well, I guess it's welcome to the Ben Higgins show.
Just the way you always wanted it, right?
There you are.
Just the way you always
that microphone works.
That one doesn't.
No,
I can hear you now.
Both microphones
now I can hear
work.
you.
Check.
All the microphones work. You just can't hear yourself.
Okay, they said they heard you scream. Of course, you've screamed very loud. It could have been in any microphone. Yeah, no idea.
Somebody was pressing buttons.
Say something.
Oh,
I can't hear you.
I have no idea if we're like what's happening right
Everyone seems to be able to hear all of us. So I guess. Okay. Well.
Here, tell me what I say.
I can't hear you at all.
Put your headphones on.
I cannot hear you through my headphones. I know that. Yes, I can't hear you I cannot hear you at all. I knew that.
No, we can't hear Woods.
Okay, no Woods. But you can on that microphone. So if you want to just move over there. Welcome to this is now we're now 3 minutes in.
It's one of those things where everything looks right, but clearly something is not
again
right.
on that microphone either. Maybe it's your voice. Are you have you lost the power of speech? There you go. Now I hear you again.
What in the world, man? Oh, this is cool. I like this. This is what a setup this is. This is fantastic. Well, welcome in, everybody. Sorry for the technical delays. Don't know really what's going on in here right now, but we've got engineers in the building, and we will figure it out. How's that sound?
Fine.
That sounds good? Okay.
Yep.
All right, man. Yeah. Eric says our Padres are 8 perfect wins. Our radio show hosts need to step it up. Agreed. Couldn't agree more. It's an embarrassing snafu.
Right, am I back? I can hear myself.
I hear you, Paulie.
Can you hear me on this mic?
That mic, I hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you on that one.
Okay.
And you can hear me and Ben in your headphones?
No problem.
Yeah, I've got you just fine.
No problem. All right, let's start it over. Hi, Mike.
You can come on in. We're on the air.
Yeah,
we're on the air.
I don't know what's going on.
His microphone is not working.
This one.
Nothing. Dead.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, now I hear it.
Are you tapping 5 or 6?
This one.
We're gonna make awful announcing this morning.
We're good.
Yeah.
Good. What'd you do? God, you're like a wizard. He just walked in the door and it started working again. My God. That was crazy.
We started the show. Nobody could hear.
Wow.
We couldn't hear each other, and then all of a sudden it kicked in. I don't know.
Well,
San Diego radio show has most awful start to program in history.
Yeah, sorry, Jay-Z. I mean, listen, man, when your mic doesn't work, your mic doesn't work. But he literally walked in and started working again. That was
just like looked at.
He looked at it like, yeah, Mike Prosser, the absolute legend that he is. All right, start it over. Whole thing.
I'm gonna get the open back.
All right, let's go.
Is everybody in? Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. Wake up!
Oh, Bruno, you're in the minority, buddy. Not the intro again. It's the worst part of the show. I get more DMs and texts about the intro to this radio program than I get about any content we ever deliver.
We got a phone call yesterday. What
is that song?
Me and my daughter are trying to figure out what's the name of the song. It's something like, "Is it too late?"
Oh, and it's huge news today on the show, guys. Scott Thompson, 2485, says, "Nice shirt, Woods. Maybe I can accept you as a San Diegan now." It's taken me, Scott. I've been looking for that approval for 15
took a lose
years.
Record
it
shirt
took a lose
to do that?
record
Okay.
shirt. One of my favorite places on the
I
planet.
should have worn mine today.
Yeah, I mean, you're also a transplant.
I'm not a.
Man, thank you, Scott. I got the approval. We got the reset going, and our San Diego Padres have won 8 games in a row. 8, which is staggeringly great. How much fun. What a cakewalk of a week for us. You haven't even to come in and explain anything. Just like, hey, is everybody cool? How's everybody's vibe? Like, it's great. It's great. Congrats. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul. He's the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, man. A great start today
8
to
minutes late.
today's show. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports taker from L.A., born in L.A., but definitely considered a San Diego.
You know, as it turns out, people who were in L.A., like Walker Bueller, can actually come to San Diego
and do
some good things.
That's right. I would like to see you throw your something into a wall someday. Like Walker Bueller last night was furious about a really nice outing last night and threw his glove into the wall. And I thought I'd like to see Ben Higgins throw his headphones across the room sometime.
He's channeling Kevin Brown circa 1998.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I'm sorry. The only thing I can think about right now is the field day that the Ted Leitner, Jim Laslovic podcast is going to have with our show.
Hey, glass houses, huh, boys? You're a moron. Okay? You're a moron.
Our technical difficulties?
At least we're a podcast and not a radio show on the Padres flagship.
Sure, you're a moron.
We are.
We talked to Uncle Teddy, and they're
Here's a concept. Bite me.
they're gonna recalibrate.
Fair, Teddy. Fair.
They're gonna recalibrate some of their equipment. And apparently you can't do it on an old VCR, which is what they tried to do. Teddy had a Betamax hooked up in his home. It was channeling with one long cord to Joe's VCR, and the lines got crossed there.
What the hell is wrong with you?
So that's why it looked and sounded out like absolute death. So they're going to recalibrate some of their machinery, and they're going to get back at it here when? A couple weeks?
I think so, yes.
It's always hard when you launch something and then that happens. I've done it, man. That's happened to me before. So I'm not very tech savvy either. But it was great. And he texted us and was like, "Hey, I might need some advice here. Be happy to help in any way we can, Uncle Teddy. Next time you do it, just make sure you're ready. Make sure you're really, I get it. You get excited, but make sure you're ready to go. It's like driving a new car off the lot. Like, we haven't put the tires on. You're going to need the tires. Wait. You're like, no, I'm so excited. Like, no. Not yet.
So mechanic's running
He's
down
running down the street. It's just so good. It's so good. What a win. What a win last night, man. What an 8 games it's been for our San Diego Padres. And, we were at the game last night, got to go down for the biggest fan and say hello to John Naranjo. And met his family. They were awesome. His wife, his son. We got some Greek food in the suite. I felt bad. So, the biggest fan, you win the biggest fan contest, you win the suite, you get 20 tickets or whatever for your friends and family. It's a great prize. It's one of the best things we do. Well, then you've got 6 dumpy radio hosts walking into your family suite. Dumpy, right? Yeah. Me, Ben, Paul, Ello, Braden, Frank, Sammy. Just like, we're just there milling around, like eating pita chips. And
it's not like Joe Musgrove's coming by. Manny's going to stop by and bring you guys some treats later.
Right. Freaking Chef Bill comes by, drops off some lobster rolls. He drops off some hot honey hen sandwiches, like extras. He just wanted to do a great job. These guys are having the time of their lives, and here's us all in the corner, like, and just we all have plates in our hands. I'm sucking down baklava, I'm like, let's get out of here, man. I felt so bad, dude. John is a cool dude, and his
Really nice.
wife and his little boy, they were lovely, lovely people. But I get that. I have self-awareness. So the self-awareness I have was like, get out of here. Let them enjoy themselves. Stop eating their food, you fat pig. Just let them enjoy themselves. So we got our picture, and then we skedaddled. That was it. For
I thought taking a step back last night and just observing for a few minutes, I thought it was funny. Woods is you've never been a big advocate, at least, for Greek food.
No. Sucked it down, though, didn't I?
When we got in there, I think you housed like 3 plates of Greek food.
So
three different servings or whatever.
So I got my first thing was 1 pita chip and 1 piece of baklava.
That's right.
So I got that down. I was like, that's pretty good.
It's a bold dinner choice.
Very bold. So then I went over.
Baklava was good.
Then I went over to the thing, and I'm rooting around, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. There's something wrapped in seaweed. I don't really want that.
That's a dolma.
Didn't want a
grape
dolma.
leaf. It's not seaweed.
Oh, it's a grape leaf?
leaves with rice stuffed in the middle. It's called dolma.
No, I might have liked it then. I like grapes.
Little lemony flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I go over, and then they just have rice and veggies and chicken. Done. House that thing. And then I stopped.
They had bowls. They had gyros.
They
They
had
had all kinds of different selections. Hummus, red pepper hummus.
Yeah.
There was an artichoke dip that was really, really good.
They really knocked it out of the park. I only had just the chicken. Oh, and then I had a pita filled with chicken and rice as well. So I went the chicken and rice bit.
You said you even turned around to like me in bed. You're like, I don't even like Greek food that much. But you were hungry, and then I thought it was funny. The second that you finished your food, you go, "Where the hell is Ello?
Where's Ello?
Let's take this picture and get the hell out of here."
Well, the best part was Ello. We saw Ello in the press box, and so did Braden, and so did Frank. They were down in the suite. I go, "Where's Ello?" Oh, he was talking to Scan. So the whole thing, we're just sitting there waiting for. I call him Elvis now, Chris Elvis. We were waiting for Elvis to come in so we could take this picture with John, and get out of there and let him enjoy his night. So
now I had a situation happen after the game. And I don't know if this person is a tier 1 or not. You tell me who's in the right and who's in the wrong.
Oh, good. I like these.
So we were in the suite, and I happen to have a very good friend sitting in the 200 section right next to our suite.
Yes.
Right? He's sitting down in row 2, so right closer to the railing.
Right below. I mean, you're open to the rest of the seating there.
And him and his wife were on the aisles, seats 1 and 2. He came up the aisle to talk to me at the top of the suite for like half an inning. We're just sitting there. I was in the suite still.
Yeah, you're
We're
leaning
sitting there
down
talking
on
over
one side of the rail.
Yeah,
He was on
right
the
over
other
the rail.
side of the rail.
And I
the
said,
haves and the have-nots. Right.
I said,
exactly.
your wife is here. She's like due in like 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like, I got to go say hi to her. I just want to say, good luck and everything, because I probably won't see her until the baby's here. So I walked down during a half inning, the half inning break. I walked down. I talked to her for a couple of minutes. When the game starts up, I go, oh, I got to go and give her a hug. There was maybe 2 to 3 pitches thrown, maybe. And as I'm walking up the aisle to leave, an older guy in a hat and a long gray beard says, "Hey, pal, trying to watch the effing game here."
Oh, whoa. Easy, Gandalf. I'm just trying to get back up the
and I go,
trying to get up the stairs here. I'm sorry.
I just said, "I'm so sorry, I apologize." And I kept walking.
What,
my head.
He dropped the F-bomb on you?
Yeah. In my head, I go, I should have stopped. I should have like stopped and just been like, "Hey man, I am so sorry. That's one of my really good friends. She's 8.5 months pregnant. I didn't feel like making her walk up to the concourse.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say hi. I am so sorry you missed 2 pitches in the top of the second inning or whatever it was."
Listen, I think you did the right thing, Paulie. And the other thing is you can't go off half cocked at him either. You know what I mean? Like light him up. But
I wasn't sitting there lingling.
It's a rule that you're not supposed to walk in between. Well, either up or down.
Up or down.
Yeah, that's why they have the signs. The ushers have the signs that say, "Please wait until a break in the action before you go down or up the stairs."
I went down after the 3rd pitch of called the bottom of the 2nd. And I was walking back up after 2 pitches into the next inning, like just talked during the commercial break, 2 minutes.
And knowing you probably scooting a little bit, not trying to
she was in seat 1 on the aisle. So I was kind of like crouched down in the stairs, like in the walkway.
I mean, look, you need their rules in place for a reason. That being said, Okay. He could have handled it a bit nicer. Here, hurt people.
I was kind of like,
Caller.
geez.
You're like, I had a guy the other day. I was in front of him. We pulled up to a stoplight, and he had his window down, and he just stared at me. It was like an older guy, and he just stared and stared and stared. And I'm like, is he looking at traffic down the road, or is he looking at me? And I'm like, no, he's looking at me. So I take my sunglasses up. I roll the window down. I go, what's up? He goes, nothing. I go, all right, have a good day. He goes, you too. But he stared like a hole through me. I'm like,
That's very pleasant.
it was not pleasant. It didn't feel pleasant. It made my skin crawl a little bit. It was very creepy.
I try to stagger, so if I stop next to someone,
Stagger
I'm
it. You're not looking
straight
dead at them.
into their car, either a little in front or a little behind, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, people, listen.
But I'll have to admit, every once in a while, when I'm in a stoplight, I'll glance around and see who's in the other cars next to me. A glance
is completely normal, but this
just kind of spaced out on you, or was actually
Benny, it was for like
staring.
It was
at
like
you?
45 seconds of. It made me. It was so unsettling to where I go.
Do you think
how
maybe,
we doing? Everything good?
Do you think maybe he thought I recognize him, but not from I don't know where?
Maybe,
because that can happen if he's watched the YouTube stream or seen you somewhere. He goes, I feel like I know that guy, and then you kind of get trapped and you're looking for too long because you're trying to figure it out in your head. Who is that?
Gary says he was in awe of your beauty. Yeah, I get that a lot too. No, I never get that. But man, it was a great time. It was so nice meeting his family. It was fun to get down there. The traffic down there was beyond murder, man. And we got home and no problem. I mean, zipped right home and handled it's my favorite. I've said it for many, many years. The best way on the planet to consume a San Diego Padres game for me, for just speaking for myself, 3 innings at the yard, 3 innings in the car, 3 innings at home. You get the best of both, the best of all worlds. And I got to listen to Jesse and Tony. Jesse told a killer story about Craig Stammen yesterday that I had not heard yet. Were you in the scrum where somebody asked him about golf?
Yes,
I was. You were there.
I was there. I even commented on it while I was there with him.
Apparently, Jesse said there was a scrum and Craig was there, and they said, Craig, I don't know who asked it, but they're like, Craig, you miss playing golf? And apparently he looked down sheepishly at his feet and was like, I do so much. And they're like, what was the next part?
So they asked him when was your last round, and he said it was the day before the first spring training game.
So he has not played a round of golf since the day before the first spring training game.
February. So probably February 19th was his last round of golf. And then someone said, that can't be good for the handicap. And he kind of stopped and looked, and I said, your handicap doesn't go up if you never play.
Correct.
And he goes, yeah. And now when I do play, I'm going to be terrible. I'm going to lose all the money because I'm not as good as my handicap says because I haven't been playing or practicing.
Yeah, and listen, Jesse's like, I get it. That's, and Tony too was like, listen, priorities are priorities. Is there anything in you, if you were the skipper or you, Paul, or me, that was like, I've just won 8 games in a row. I'm going to go play. I'm going to go tee off at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't think it's going to mess with my managing tonight.
No, and I don't think he's that worried about messing with his manager. I think when he feels like he's got 4 hours, he needs to spend it with his family because he's got kids and they've got Little League and everything. And I don't think he feels bad. Like, he knows he needs time away from the ballpark and the team, a few hours a day. But because he's spending so much time with the team and traveling,
his wife's like, You're going what?
You're going golfing?
You're going what?
Because what time?
You just got back from Boston and Pittsburgh. I've been here with these kids. You're doing what?
That's, I think, the main
What time
issue.
do you think Craig Stammen usually gets to Petco Park? Call it a 5:40 game like last night?
11, maybe 10. Yeah,
well, I was thinking 10, 11.
Yeah,
at
he
the
might
latest.
drop the kids off at school and come right into the ballpark some days.
Yeah, so I don't think he's like, hey, I got to be at the ballpark at about 10:30 tomorrow, so I'm going to wake up around 5.
Go play.
Quick round in.
He should. Listen, it's downtime's important. And passions are important. Be able to go out and do the things that you love. No, on no planet would I, as a media member or even a fan, be like, saw our manager out golfing today. Now, if a guy says he's hurt and he's out golfing like Jake Arrieta did when he was here, that I have a problem with. But a manager going, no, man, I need a little time away. Go clear your head, man. I think it's going to make you a better manager, right?
I think so.
I think so, too.
Everyone needs time away. Whatever your work is, if you spend all the time in your days thinking about your job, you're not going to actually be that good at your job.
Yeah, and your life's going to suck.
Yeah.
Well, so far so good for Craig Stammen, man. It's 8 in a row. Boys are playing good. We will talk about all of it today and then some.
Manager of the year front runner.
It's 100%
in the National League. No doubt about it at this point. Yeah, we will get to all of it. We will get to another winning Padres grap up.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. A historic grap up.
I don't think we've ever had an 8 in a row grap up before. I know everybody's looking forward to it. So we will break it all down. Walker Buehler starts a perfect homestand. I mean, a perfect homestand. You come home. I mean, that's what you're hoping for if you're a San Diego Padres fan. We'll set the menu for a Friar Friday, a management report Friday that includes the president of baseball operations. Yeah, AJ Preller is going to be back with us this morning as well.
I'm going to ask him, why haven't you let your skipper play golf? What's your problem?
Exactly.
Ruling with an iron fist. Let this man go play golf.
Basketball.
Yeah, you play basketball. Does anybody have a problem with AJ Preller playing basketball? No, not even a little. Clear your head. Clear your head and go make more trades for guys like Mason Miller, please, because he's the best thing that I've ever seen in my whole life. Never seen anything like him.
I wrote on online yesterday. I think my wife thinks I'm in love with Mason Miller. I can't stop talking about him.
I know.
Like,
I can't either.
You don't understand. He's got a 76% K rate this year.
I'm with it, Paulie. When he comes in,
no one's ever done this before.
I literally remember like the first time in my life I thought I just fell in love with a woman. I remember that moment. I remember what it smelled like. When he runs out, when that music, when that corn starts, I have the same body tingles as when I felt the day that I saw that girl. And it has changed everything for me. When he runs in from the bullpen, I get full body chills. It's unbelievable.
Are you ready? And it's stupid silly.
God, it's so good.
We'll get to all of that coming up.
He's unbelievable.
Tier ones, thank you for bearing with our technical difficulties for the first 5 minutes of the show. Hopefully we'll make it up for you over the next 3.5 hours with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, you follow sports, momentum can change fast, just like it did for our team after the first week of the season. Same thing happens in the market. One headline, one downturn, suddenly people are wondering if they're still on track for retirement. That uncertainty is exhausting. Trajan Wealth helps bring stability to your uncertainty. TRAJANwealth.com. Their fiduciary advisors focus on tactical investments, personalized strategies designed around your risk tolerance, not emotion, not hype. As an independent firm, Trajan Wealth isn't tied to one product or one approach. Everything customized to you, your situation. Local offices at Liberty Station, Del Mar, Carlsbad, and they understand what's at stake. If you're looking for a steadier approach to your financial future, start with a phone call, 619-367-0207, 619-367-0207, or just take a few minutes online at TRAJANwealth.com. Again, TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter. Dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Had a little news drop yesterday about the impending sale of the San Diego Padres. Dennis Lynn in The Athletic reporting that a deal could be announced as soon as next week with one of the four bidders. After that, it'll still probably be another few weeks, a month or so until the other owners can vote on approval. You need 3/4 of the other 29 owners to approve any possible sale. But it sounds like we are near the finish line of a process that started back last November of the Seidler family selling their interest in the San Diego Padres, and a new controlling owner could be in place theoretically before the All-Star break this year.
Let's get busy, my friend. We got a lot of work to do.
Do those
here.
owner votes ever go a little haywire?
Yes,
they do.
They did, yes, for the San Diego Padres when they were trying to
John Morad.
Jeff Morad was trying to buy the team. They were not going to get approval. I don't know that it ever gets to the point of the vote and they vote it down. I think if you don't have the votes, they just
Right.
Don't
they won't
do
accept
the
the
vote.
bid.
Yeah, and then they
Like,
they
I
had
feel
this-
like if you're going to accept the bid, you probably have a good idea of whether or not the other 29 owners are going to be on board.
So they ended up redoing it and selling the team to Ron Fowler and Peter Seidler and that investment group, and it turned out quite well for San Diego Padres fans. We will see who ends up being the new owner of the San Diego Padres, maybe coming up here before the end of the month. Crazy. Men and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Coming up on the program today, we get to the Padres wrap up, and then don't do this in our 7 o'clock hour at 7:35. Our friend Darren Smith, SDFC broadcaster, Friar Territory podcast host. Saw him yesterday down at the Sharp Healthcare Training Center at Singing Hills. I went to SDFC practice. Mikey Varas says, yes, they are struggling, but he felt like they started turning a corner in that game we went to. And if they had
The last
taken
maybe 6-7 minutes.
if they hadn't taken the red card and been shorthanded, he felt like they were playing much better and thinks that they're going to get back on track here. But they got 2 road games coming up in the next few days at Salt Lake and at Houston. A little double road trip for SDFC. So we'll talk to Darren Smith coming up at 7:35 about our local soccer team and our baseball team.
Good time to get hot.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
They have a break coming up for the World Cup in about a month or so. They shut it down for about a month and a half, I think, and then they come back, and he said, and basically we just start over with spring training again. And, get ready for like the second season
half.
and the second half of the year. So you want to finish this first half on a high note last few weeks and put yourself in good position. They've dropped all the way to, I think, 8th in the conference. So
It's
like
no
on
good,
the fringe of the playoffs as opposed to being right at the top where they were at the beginning of the season. So you don't want to drop any further. You want to increase your spot in the standings probably before that World Cup break. 8 o'clock hour, we'll play Take on Woods, and we'll get an early Randall report at 8:35 because at 9 o'clock, it is a management report, Friar Friday, brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It is better. And we will be joined by President of Baseball Operations, General Manager of your streaking San Diego Padres. AJ Preller is going to be with us at 9 a.m. Hard-hitting questions for AJ? Pretty happy with your managerial choice right now?
Everything's going great.
All the pitchers that you picked up, Walker Buehler, looking like a genius right now, AJ.
Jeez, dude.
It's gonna
Is
be
it the ultimate Cadillac problem to be like, sometimes these shows on a winning streak can be a little bit more difficult. Where it's like, what are we supposed to like complain about or discuss or debate? They've won 8 in a row. There's no debate.
It's hard to, you can always find something you can improve on, right? And you can always find little things that you want to nitpick, and certainly that's kind of our job, to be honest.
I know,
with you.
but that even doesn't that feel like a reach?
It feels a little bit reachy, and especially with the GM, getting him on and being like, all right, what's your problem? He's like, nothing. We won. We're the hottest team in baseball. What's your problem? Right? I don't know. What's yours? I have no idea what to talk about.
It is an actual problem.
I have no idea.
It sounds like a weird problem to have.
I'd rather have that problem than just about any other problem in radio, but
yeah, same. I mean, listen, the thing is, I was driving home yesterday thinking about what I'm going to ask him. And you never get nervous talking to AJ ever. Like, it's not, I did maybe 7 years ago. I don't anymore. You're like, hey, you in on Giolito? We're going to exhaust all, we're going to look at it. Right. I mean, I guess you have to ask it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from our standpoint, you're always interested in quality starting pitching.
Exactly.
And, we're always looking to
see if it lines up. Right. I mean,
yeah,
we can do call him and tell me he doesn't need to come on. I'll be him and you be you, and we'll just do the interview. I know exactly what he's going to say. Right?
Probably. Probably.
Which is fine.
It's our challenge to come up with a couple of interesting questions that will lead to some interesting answers.
Ask Darren Smith at 7:35 for like 3 or 4 good questions.
Yeah, he is
to ask Darren.
Yeah,
that's right.
Or to ask AJ.
That's right.
There you go.
Not a bad idea. And then we'll look ahead to the start of the road trip tonight up in Anaheim. Figure there's going to be a lot of Padres fans making the trip up to the Big A. They generally have tickets available for their games, and not a tough trip for Padres fans. In fact, if you live in the North County, in some ways it might even be easier.
sometimes than trying to get down to Petco Park on a Friday afternoon. Just head up to the Big A and catch a little baseball this weekend with Padres and the Angels.
I know so many people heading up for that game. We were going to go. We got the Little League games. We can't do it now. It's probably I could get there quicker from my house than I can to Petco these days. Yesterday was an hour and a half. The last time I went was an hour 45.
Hop on the train.
It's
up to
cool.
Anaheim. You can get right off in the parking lot of the Big A.
That's right.
I did see a scary situation actually on the 15 driving by on an overpass is all I'll say. There were police cars and ambulances and
yesterday?
Yeah, I was like I just gotten onto the freeway. I was just passing this overpass right over the 15 and I think there was a
jumper.
Yeah,
it's a bummer. Yeah. Hopefully they're okay. So many people heading up this weekend. It's a good ballpark. We had such a good time as a family when we went up there. Everyone was so nice.
Tonight feels like a heat check game.
Yeah.
In basketball, when a guy's made, 2 or 3 3-pointers in a row and takes a ridiculous one to just see if they can ever miss. You're going up against who Jesse Agler called, and probably accurately, the best pitcher in baseball this season so far. Jose Soriano has been insane.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Got a .33 ERA. I mean, his strikeout rate is up. He gives up nothing but ground balls if you make contact with a heavy, heavy sinker. And the Padres are going to go, hey, Matt Waldron hasn't pitched in the big leagues more than once in 2 years. Let's see how hot we actually are tonight.
Let's see if this is
it's an Angels team. Mike Trout has 5 home runs in the last 4 days at Yankee Stadium, but the Padres have played hot teams. The Pirates, the Rockies were hot when they faced him. The Mariners were hot when they faced him. Not anymore, as Don Orsillo likes to say.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can cool off the Angels this time as they open a 3-game series and a road trip that's going to take them to Colorado and Mexico City next week. 3-city, high altitude, longest road trip of the season so far for your San Diego Padres.
Not anymore! Got a chance to, it was 10 minutes before they went on the air, but I went up to say hi to Jesse and Tony, and I saw Don, and I just gave him like the love you, Donnie, and he got up and I gave him a big hug. He goes, thanks for the kind words, Woodsy. Appreciate you guys. It's just that deep, rich voice. By the way, I think he's been hitting the weights.
Really?
Because I put my arms around him, and I felt like I was like, ooh, muscular.
It's the oars on the mini.
On the mini.
You know when you do like
the mini yacht that gets him out into the bay.
You do the bro hug and you come in, kind of hook it in, and then your other arm comes around and you give him a little pat on the back or the shoulder blade or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay.
Ooh, somebody's on a new workout regimen. And I don't think it's just, walking around. I think he's been hitting the iron, man. And I'll tell you this, Don Orsillo felt pretty good in my hands last night. He really did when I put my arms around him. He was great. All
right. How his throat was doing?
I did not.
I know why a lot of people are here this morning. They want to hear not the grap up. They want to hear the opening to the grap up.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you've been waiting for. Paulie's got it prepared for you, and you will get to hear it. A record opening to our grap up right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Sue Aller.
Caltrans Asset Management reminds you that work continues this weekend on southbound 805. The 8 eastbound at the 5. Watch out, there's an object blocking the center lane. Don't know what that object is, but something's out there. And northbound 805 is a bit slow as you head towards 94. Caltrans Asset Management work continues this weekend on southbound 805 with the closure of all lanes from the 5 and 805 split to Governor Drive. On April 17th at 9 p.m. to April 19th at 5 a.m. Expect delays and use Interstate 5 for travel south of Sorrento Valley. I'm Sue Aller with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Come on.
Wow.
How did things play out in yesterday's game?
I liked last night's game.
It's time for the
Padres wrap up
with Ben and Woods.
You guys are the voice of San Diego.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Here's the 0-1. Campusano lines it into left field and a base hit. Sheets on his way home.
Padres have the first run of the night, and Luis Campusano keeps on hitting. An 8-game hitting streak, and it's 1-0. 2-0. Here's the pitch. Laureano swings, hits it firmly to first, backhanded by Naylor, loses it again. Going to take it to first base, gets there just before Laureano does. And Duhar comes in to score. An RBI ground out, and now 2-0 Pod. 2-2 to Tatis. The pitch. Fernando swings, lines it into center field, a base hit. Campusano has scored. Cronenworth's on his way. He's going to score. That's a 2-run single for Fernando Tatis Jr. and a 4-0 Padre lead in the second. 0-2. Buehler delivers, and a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Number 7 for Walker Buehler as he finishes a 1-2-3 fifth inning. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Raleigh swings, lines it over Sheets. That's a fair ball up the right field line. Cole Young comes in to score. Donovan on his way to third base as Tatis's throw goes to second. An RBI single for Raleigh. The Mariners are on the board 4-1, and 3 straight hits to begin the 6th for Seattle. This time these two Rodriguez's are facing off, and a line drive into right field, a base hit. That'll get another run home as Donovan trots in from third base. And now 4 straight Mariner hits to begin the 6th inning. It's 4-2. Pitch coming. And Machado swings, pops it up shallow center. Young, the second baseman, back, kind of twisting and turning, and he can't make the catch. Fernando will score, and it's 5-2.
The good old infield in comes back to haunt the Mariners.
The 3-2 pitch taken at the knee. Strike 3 called. He's going to challenge it.
Better challenging the strike ball. Why not? I don't think it's going to matter, though.
He's walking back to the dugout. ABS confirms it. A perfect ninth for Mason Miller. A perfect homestand for the Padres. They have won 8 in a row, 11 out of their last 12. A 7-0 homestand capped off by Mason Miller's 6th save of the year, in which he strikes out the side. Final score here tonight. Padres 5 and the Mariners 2.
A couple things going our way. We're kind of settled in the season a little bit. I think, we were always going to find a way to play better at home. We've done that in years past. We have such a great home field advantage here with the fans and just feeling comfortable in Petco Park and playing here. We had, a team that was kind of gelling together at the beginning, getting back from WBC and kind of coming back together. And I think, that first road trip just kind of got us a little bit more connected. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. We're just playing a little bit better here at home.
3-game sweep, 7-0 homestand, 8-game winning streak, and the Padres have won 11 of their past 12 games after a 5-2 victory over the Seattle Mariners last night. And as fun as the walk-offs and the comebacks were, that's more your formula for a Padres victory right there.
That's it, man.
Get enough starting pitching, and Walker Buehler we'll talk about it, but he was good again. A little bit of early offense, and then turn things over to a lockdown bullpen with Adrian Morejon shutting down the one Seattle Mariners rally there in the 6th inning, getting through the 7th and handing it over to Jason Adam and Mason Miller to close things out, to really choke off the life of any potential comeback, any rally, any sort of hope that any other team can have if they're behind against the San Diego Padres in the late innings.
I mean, after, watching the conclusion of the game, if you look back and you want to look at something and you go, all right, maybe you should have done X, right? Maybe a clean inning for Brad Glay. I can totally understand. And I know Walker wanted to go back out there, but then boom, 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 3 hits in a row. Brad Glay comes in a bit of a tough spot. But, hey, that's what being a reliever in the big leagues is. You're going to have to come into tough spots.
Sure.
Palm, Scan, they were talking to Mason Miller after the game, and Mason, made it a point to say picking our guys up, stranding those guys is important to us. It's something that is we take it very, very seriously. Morejon has been as sharp as can be, Ben. He looks fantastic again. Bradley, I thought, made a pretty decent pitch that got hit for
to Julio Rodriguez at 98 low and in, and a nice piece
Pretty
of hitting
good
there
pitch,
by
man.
Julio Rodriguez. That's going to happen. You're facing big league batters. I don't think there was any reason to take Walker Buehler out of the game to start the 6th inning.
Start, maybe, but like after the first,
you need to.
What about the first 2? Again, nitpicking,
maybe,
like a
maybe
tiny
a little quick, maybe one batter sooner. I mean, neither of those were scalded.
No.
There were changeups that were left up. That they were, he got Cal Raleigh way out in front,
He did.
and guy, poked one in. You're not totally worried about it. But I thought Walker Buehler kind of was the story of the game. Not because he was so dominant, but I mean, we saw the radar gun early in the game, 96. Did we see 97 even for Walker Buehler?
Yep.
We thought we're lucky to see 94, 95. If he can throw that hard, not quite as hard as he used to, but that is close enough where with his now added arsenal, and he was using 7 different pitches in the game pretty equally. 4-seamer at about 28%, everything else like 21, 17, 14. I mean, that's a big repertoire. And if the fastball is that fast that keeps the hitters honest, that's a good pitcher right there. That's someone who's going to be league average or better than league average. And while his ERA is in the 4s, his fielding independent ERA is about 3, which is better than league average so far this season. If you're getting that out of your 4-5 starter in Walker Buehler, that's a win for the San Diego Padres.
I mean, already with his last 2 starts, I mean, that's it. Like, money well spent. You're good with what you paid him. You're good. You've recouped your investment.
I'll take a few more, but yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
those are really, really nice outings from Walker Buehler in a rotation that desperately needs guys to step up. And he did, man. He's fantastic. Yeah, David, our pal, says pitching with a lead, trying to get a feel for how to work through trouble for later in the year. Absolutely okay. Didn't you guys get the sense?
Save your bullpen if you can. I mean, if he gets through another inning or 2, you save your pen for another day. I mean, it's worth it to send the guy back out there. It's not always going to work, but you can't pull every starter after 5 good innings. His pitch count was not in a concerning level at that point. You send your starter back out for the 6th.
Let him go.
No questions asked in that situation.
Did you guys get the same sense that I had? Like, the Mariners just had a crushing defeat the night before. Crushing. Like, it's hard to rebound. Then you see them start to tune it up. And I went, oh man, this is gonna be their night to flip the script on us. Having the ability to go to get the high leverage guys, the Morahones, the Jason Adams, and the Mason Millers, that's a 7-inning game, 6-inning game. You get through the 6th with a lead, you're like, all right, I will take my chances every single time. What an amazing feeling for Stammen. What an amazing feeling for the offense to know, hey man, we can get a lead through 6 innings. Like, we have a really good chance of winning this game. A really, really good chance. So just kudos to the bullpen. Kudos to Craig for pushing the right buttons there and not letting, and kudos to like not letting it spiral and not letting it spin out of control and let them come back to tie the game. It was great.
If you want to discuss something, I don't think it really matters right now because Jason Adam has been so good since he's come back. But if you were playing like a playoff game against the Mariners and you've got a small lead to protect and it's the 8th inning and they've got, Rodriguez, Naylor, or Rosarena coming up, do you want to use Mason Miller against those guys and then not worry about the bottom of the order?
Maybe.
Because, Adam faced the heart of the order.
Yeah.
Miller got the bottom. Crawford, Garver, Young. I mean, they have no hope at all against Mason Miller at the bottom of the order.
At this point, it's
overkill. It's overkill.
It is. At this point, it doesn't even really matter.
It doesn't.
It does.
I had a buddy text me yesterday because what does it feel like to know that if you have the lead after 8 innings, the game's over?
Knock on wood. Yeah.
I was like, it's
pretty
awesome.
So far, it's been great.
But there's also they know their lanes. That's why they're so good. They're prepared for the 8th. Jason Adams ready for the 8th. Mason Miller's ready for the 9th. But there is going to be a situation where you're going, man, there's some really good hitters coming up in the 8th. And
if I'm Craig Stammen, and I'm managing a playoff game and we have a lead after 7, go get 6.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mess around.
Like, how you feeling?
If it's a 1-run lead and we got 6 outs to get, go get it.
Yeah. You're like, you good?
Every game. Like,
you want it? It's yours.
If Yoshinobu Yamamoto can throw 200 innings and then come out in the playoffs and be like, yeah, I'll just pitch every day, young, sturdy Mason Miller in the playoffs should be a 2-inning Goose Gossage style weapon in every game.
All right, let's come back. Let's talk about the offense a little bit. Wasn't as loud or as dramatic, but a really nice rally that they put together early in the game. We got more Padres talk on the way. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. It's Ben and Woods on a Friday. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. 19 games, 19 different lineups for your new manager, Craig Stammen.
Keep it rolling.
Has yet to settle into the one that he thinks. I mean, they're all kind of working.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Another one came through last night.
I think the move is don't you just keep shuffling it until something goes wrong? Like, it's working right now. You've won 8 in a row. You're getting guys off their feet. You're keeping guys fresh. I think we were just talking off the air about Miguel Andujar, who they brought in to mash lefties. And he's only gotten 11 ABs against left-handed pitching this year. He's gotten the lion's share of his ABs against righties.
Padres just haven't faced a lot of left-handers this year.
But he is hitting 367 right on right, and he is hitting 182 left on right. So he is bucking the convention, bucking the trend of that he has had most of his career, that he mashes lefties and struggles against righties. He's hitting 367 against righties, 182 against lefties. We were talking about Casty. Like, if you're facing a really tough righty tonight, very, very tough righty, don't you have to ride the hot hand, and Andujar's got to be in there as the DH?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not that Castellanos has been bad. He's been a little unlucky.
Yep.
But I think he's on the kind of downward bit of a slump, and Andujar's swinging the bat better.
Really
so
well.
I think he should be back in there tonight.
Yep.
If you had to choose between the two. The fact that they have faced so many righties, though, has been a real benefit.
Oh, wait. Last night was the same lineup, wasn't it? People are saying in the chat it was the first repeat.
Oh, was it a repeat?
I think it was a repeat.
From not the day before. Sometime earlier in the season, they had done that same lineup?
Same lineup earlier in the season.
Okay. Then we have 18 different lineups in 19 different
19.
games.
Yeah.
But with the consistent stream of right-handers going, Gavin Sheets has gotten to settle in after a slow start offensively. He had the big, obviously, 2-homer game with the walk-off, but quietly, Gavin Sheets has been providing slug. I think he's third in the National League in doubles now.
Yeah,
and it was
8 doubles.
It was his double last night that started the 4-run rally in the second inning that proved to be, of course, the pivotal inning of the game for your San Diego Padres. 1-out double, then Andujar single, and then Luis Campusano coming through again with an RBI single to extend his hitting streak to 8 games. Campy would have likely been in there to catch Walker Buehler either way, but Freddie Fermin, the news was good. He was available to back up after having to leave the game, taking the foul tip off the mask the night before. Craig Stammen said, yeah, we're calling it a head contusion. So he definitely had was not comfortable, had, a bruise, a contusion on his head, but there was no concussion signs, and Freddie Fermin should be okay to go moving forward. They did bring Rodolfo Duran up to the clubhouse on the taxi squad in case they needed to make a last-minute change. They didn't want to be left without a backup catcher to Campy if for some reason Freddie decided he couldn't go, and it's possible that Rodolfo Duran will stick with the team in Anaheim for another day or two just to be sure. But at this point, it seems as though the Padres are not going to have to make a roster move with their catching situation. Campy gives the Padres the 1-0 lead. Laureano adds one with the RBI ground out, which helped. That was because of the error on the throw by Luis Castillo on Jake Cronenworth's comebacker, which was a very hard hit ball. I feel like not all errors are obviously created equal.
Yeah.
Jake hit that ball so hard that it went off of Castillo. That's going to fluster the pitcher a little bit. You almost force the error.
Yeah.
You rush him, make him pick it up, make him throw. He threw it low. Could have been picked up by Josh Naylor at first base. Probably should have been. But at the same time, it's not as though, he had a routine chopper back to the mound and they just biffed it. Jake hit that ball hard, helped the inning continue. Laureano ground out, and then Fernando Tatis Jr. still without a home run, but still taking very good at-bats. Does exactly what he needs to do there. Lines a 2-run single to center field to cap the 4-1 rally, and that was pretty much it there after the second inning.
Yeah, it was church after that, man. That's kind of all they needed. They added on another run later.
Manny's little pop-up.
That Cole Young.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Right now, everything's rolling right along. Everything is rolling right along. What was the news yesterday on Sungmoon Song?
So his rehab stint came to an end because it's 20 games maximum, so they needed to make a roster move. They activated him from the injured list, and then optioned him to Triple-A. So he'll just continue playing for El Paso, kind of an extended spring training. His numbers aren't that bad. I saw, like a 265 average. I think his OPS is around 700 or something in the minor leagues.
So he made a hell of a catch.
Yeah, I think right now, who would you get rid of if you brought him back? I mean, there's almost no spot for Sungmun Song.
People are saying Crony because he's not hitting, but Crony's picking it like a mother.
You can't send Crony to the minor league.
It's not sending him down, but you could.
Who would you send down?
I don't know. Bryce Johnson or something. You'd have to DFA somebody. If Song is your,
Castellanos has played like several games down the outfield. He might be your fourth outfielder.
Yeah, but he's not a guy you want to bring in like for defensive purposes or anything.
Song,
at the end of the game,
they're working in the outfield.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't really want Tatis, Merrill, or Laureano ever out of the game very often.
I know, nor do I. But they're gonna need time. Yeah, I mean, you're not putting Song in over the ZD in the chat is mad we didn't trade Jake Cronenworth. Yeah, man, he can hit a little bit better right now, certainly, but he's like your 9-hole hitter that's scuffling and playing great defense. Welcome to baseball in 1983. That's pretty much how it was forever. But I think he'll figure it out eventually. But Crony's defense has been fantastic.
He looks really good at second base. He just looks like he's settled in.
Good.
You don't have to worry about, hey, which glove do I need today?
Yeah, I know it's fun to say, I'd rather see Bryce Johnson out there than blah blah blah. It's listen, Jake Cronenworth's a really good second baseman, and I know we love him and all that, but I have never ever had a problem throwing Crony at the bottom of the order and going after it.
I think the Padres are taking advantage of a good situation right now. They don't desperately need Sungmun Song at the moment, which means he can continue to acclimate himself to the United States, to American baseball in a lower pressure environment of AAA. He can work on different defensive positions. They can throw him in the outfield if they want some more and get him to the point where you feel comfortable putting him out there if you bring him up to the big leagues. If someone did go down in the outfield, it would be nice to have someone else who could play out there as a backup. So you can do all that at AAA in a low-pressure environment rather than making a very tough decision right now as to who you're going to DFA or who you're going to have to put on an injured list that's not totally hurt just to wedge Sungmun Song onto the roster at this point. You've got, so what did you sign him for? 3
or 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, you've got him for a while. There's no need to immediately rush him to the big leagues. Hopefully he will, like Ha-Sung Kim, eventually be a good productive big leaguer for the San Diego Padres, but it doesn't have to be right now. Padres are playing quite well without him. Don't upset the apple cart. Just keep it going. So, yeah, they activated him, optioned him to AAA. He will remain in El Paso. Speaking of El Paso, also had a rehab start for Griffin Canning, who went, I think, 2 1/3. 1 hit. Sounds very exciting. Also, 4 walks, 6 runs. Only 2 of them earned. I didn't see how it all happened, but it sounds like some AAA style defense and some command problems for Griffin Canning in his rehab start. You'd rather see some command issues than health issues, though. And hopefully if he came through that healthy, he's taking a step toward his return to the big leagues, not getting further away.
5 walks.
4 walks.
4 walks. 6 punchies.
6 strikeouts, too, yeah.
Okay.
Out of
one
his
hit,
7 outs that he got.
One hit. That's a tough
good,
line, man.
There's a lot to absorb right there. Walk the bases loaded.
David, yeah. Walk the bases loaded. Then a would-be inning-ending easy fly ball that was just flat out dropped. Just a total little league line right there. 4 walks, 6 Ks, 6 runs. That's a tough scene.
Yeah, I mean,
walking the bases loaded sucks. Like there's no that's
you
on,
may get
that's
out of that in the
you.
big leagues, but the Padres right now, what have we seen in the Padres losses?
If they walk guys, we're screwed.
Almost the same commonality in every Padres loss has been too many walks from the pitchers,
100%.
or even wins that were, like Randy Vasquez's start that we had to come from behind. It's generally when the starters don't have good command and are walking guys, that's when they get into trouble. When they're throwing strikes, Padres have been close to unbeatable this season.
When Walker Buehler walked Brendan Donovan to lead off the game, I'm like, we're dead, and then he picks him off, which was just elite. So yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm gonna be happy about this 8-game winning streak, and again, try to win a series up in the Big A, Benny, against a team. They're 500 team, I think, right now. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're hitting a lot of bombs. Mike Trout has been red hot. Don't give him anything in the zone. I mean, Marquez against Trout tonight is
Waldron.
Oh, I'm sorry, Waldron against Trout tonight, and then Marquez will be
tomorrow,
the next day. Okay. Well, yeah, my point remains.
The Angels lead all of baseball in home runs. They have been off to, I mean, they're not a great team. I think they're a 500 team. Their pitching bullpen is not that good. The depth in their pitching is questionable, but when Soriano is pitching and they are hitting, they are a very good team. This is, as I said, this is not, if you get 9 in a row tonight, you have absolutely earned it against Jose Soriano and the Angels.
Yep.
This is a tough game for any team to be facing. Even the San Diego Padres hot right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm excited. Lewis says he's excited for Waldron's pitch mix to see what that is. And he said that's going to be so interesting. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how ABS and the knuckleball works together. That's a really fascinating thing for me.
Campy had been so good, and they missed.
We blew it
too.
We did it. We did it last.
Yeah,
we did it.
Jinxed him a little bit.
We jinxed him a little bit. So that was on us. They were not close either.
It could work well if you judiciously use them in the right spots, but catchers can be fooled by the knuckleball as well. I thought Campy got 100%. Fooled a couple of times by striky-looking pitches
he did.
That weren't really strikes from Walker Buehler, and it was like, or one was from Bradley, I think, or Adrian Morey. The second one was Adrian Morejón, and he got the out on the next pitch, and I'm going, well, that was kind of a waste. You ran out of challenges. You needed one more pitch. You would have gotten him anyway. So how will they use those? Will they use them aggressively? Will they be more conservative about it with Waldron on the mound? We'll see. And how many knuckleballs is Matt Waldron going to even throw, tonight? What's the percentage? Is it 20%? Is it 40%? I mean, it sounds like it's been lower this year and what he's been working on in his rehab starts, that you're not going to see as many knuckleballs, but hopefully when you do see them, they're even more effective because they're a bit more of a surprise, like an unexpected knuckleball.
I love it. I can't wait to see him pitch. I'm happy for him. I mean, there was a period when we were at spring training that we thought, we've seen the last of Matt Waldron in a Padres uniform, right? We all did, because, hey, he's not going to be able to, we're going to lose him, and he's not going to be able to get back and in time. And he did. And he got through that weird misstep from Craig Stammen, the very first misstep of his surgery on his beehole, and we went from there, and he's back, and he's now making a big start. Try to keep an 8-game or 9-game winning streak going.
Let's just quickly mention, we mentioned Mason Miller, but he did hit a milestone last night, his scoreless streak up to 30 2/3 innings, which passed our friend Randy Jones for second all-time on the Padres' longest scoreless streak. He is now just 3 innings away from the all-time record held by Clay Meredith, who did that back in 2006. But passing Randy on the year, of course, that they are remembering Randy and wearing the RJ patches. Worth always mentioning. Anytime I can get Randy Jones into the show for a mention, certainly worth it.
I saw that number yesterday, that stat, and I go, man, I know Randy was here with us last season when we acquired Mason Miller, but I don't remember running into Randy and talking to him at all. Boy, to be able to talk to him about like a guy like Mason Miller, be like, could you even imagine if you went back to 1976? Could you imagine ever seeing a guy like that coming out of the bullpen?
There are some similarities between Randy Jones and Mason Miller. Mostly that they're both pitchers. And they're
pretty
both
much ends there.
That's it. And that is pretty much where
I don't know
similarities
I don't know if Mason likes barbecue. I imagine he might, but not a whole lot of similarities outside of that.
Randy, obviously a smaller guy who threw, pretty slow, even, for at least a major league pitcher.
The junk man.
Complete junk baller. And then there's Mason Miller, who is throwing an insane speed, but doesn't that tell you, you can do it different ways? They both now have over 30-game scoreless inning streaks in San Diego Padres history, doing it completely opposite ways.
Different ways to get the same result, guys. and scoreless innings, if that's what you're after, there's now, hey, kids out there listening, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. But yeah, he's special, man. There's just no other way to look at it, at what Mason Miller is. He's honestly like nothing I've seen.
I mean, it's, the feeling that must wash over the opposing team's dugout when you're like, damn it, we didn't score off Jason Adam when we had a chance. Like, we're toast. It's just got to be
Jason Adam, by the way.
Yeah, Jason Adam, right?
Really good.
He's really good. So, what do you say about Mason Miller? He's just humble, quiet.
Just in general.
9.1 innings pitched.
Yep.
1 hit.
Yep.
0 earned runs. 1 walk.
He's
23 strikeouts.
He's now faced 30 batters, struck out 23 of them, walked 1, gave up a Luis Ariz little punch single, and the other 5 somehow made contact, a couple of broken bat, ground ball outs, a pop-up or 2, I think.
Would it be like
that's it?
Would it be like me getting on the bump tonight for my 6:30 game? And I don't throw hard, but I throw hard for 8-year-old. Would it be like me getting the ball and they're closer mounds and being like, okay, we have the Angels tonight.
You're throwing 65, 70.
And I'm going, I can throw 5 faster than 65. But I'm reaching back and I'm taking on these 8-year-olds. Is that what it feels like for him? Because that's the sense that I get.
Although I get a sense like Bo might actually have a chance to get a hit against you. Whereas I don't know that any of these major leaguers have a chance against Mason Miller.
If my son got a hit off of me from 45 feet, I think I would lose my mind. He's so good.
He's got a good swing.
He
I've
does.
seen it. It's really
good swing.
nice.
Oh, it's good.
All right, let's take a timeout. A lot of Padres talk there in our first hour. When we come back, we'll get to Don't Do This. I think that it's always amusing, the different weird criminal stories coming out of the SEC.
Yeah. Yeah, new one.
It's got a new one.
Surprise you.
We got a new one for you today. And also the reporter accused of using AI to ask questions responds, and in a pretty positive way.
No doubt.
That we'll give a tip of the cap to with Do This
There's
coming
a few
up next.
updates to that story.
There are, yeah.
We will get to all of that coming up next with Ben and Woods, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Summer is approaching, and if you have gotten, added some winter weight and are looking for a quick, safe, and effective way, a permanent way to take it off, SDFatLoss.com is the way to go. The doctor-developed program that I went through 3 years ago suppresses appetite, helps build metabolism, and really rewires your habits. I was just talking with someone yesterday as we finished the roundtable, and I had a couple of the wings, and I'm walking out, and they go, "Is that okay with SDFatLoss.com?" I said, honestly, it is. You can eat what you want, but I don't crave food the way I used to. I don't eat nearly as much as I used to, and it's all thanks to the program. I went through 2 months, and it changed my life forever. You can do the same thing based on real foods, stuff you're already eating in the grocery store, no injections. They're expensive. They do not change your metabolism. Yeah, they temporarily suppress your hunger. That's about it. Everything else with those, loss of muscle, is not great, but with SDFatLoss.com, the benefits just keep going on and on and on. All you need to do, go online to SDFatLoss.com, set up a free consultation, sign up now, spring special, take $200 off the program. You'll be done by the time it starts warming up in San Diego in the middle of July. You will be completely done, new you, ready to go for the rest of summer by going to SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
D. Smith coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll talk SDFC and Padres. First, it is time for Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and
enjoy it.
Padres will be heading to Colorado as part of their three-series road trip early next week, and they might want to check the skies because a rash of drone sightings around Coors Field has turned into an official warning from law enforcement authorities in Denver. This happened during the first homestand of the season. More than a half a dozen drones spotted around Coors Field. Now, don't know that anything was nefarious going on, but you don't want to have a bunch of drones flying around a stadium full of people during a game. It's supposed to be kind of a no-fly, off-limit zone. The FAA and the FBI both issued warnings yesterday to try to keep drones away from the stadium during this Rockies' next homestand that includes the San Diego Padres because they are concerned about the potential threat they could pose. Nothing specifically listed like they're worried about something, but just even a drone crashing, runs out of power and falls into the stands at Coors Field, that could really hurt someone. So they don't want drones to violate the restricted airspace around the stadium.
You guys seeing
I think we need to put a
stop down
to
cop,
don't do
yeah,
this.
just
That
it.
was
There you
Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
I don't have the full article here yet.
I've got the headline here from the Wall Street Journal, Benjamin, just now. Private equity billionaire Jose E. Feliciano and his wife Kwanzaa Jones would acquire the San Diego Padres for nearly $1.5 billion more than Steve Cohen paid for the New York Mets in 2020.
That would be $3.9 billion.
$3.9 billion. Again, this is the Wall Street Journal. This is not Jenna Tolles or
Jared Diamond is a smart investigative journalist.
Very, very much so. So I wonder if that is the real deal. Reach out to your Padres sources, Benjamin, right now.
I would imagine they won't comment at this point, but I do not see this at all.
It's in the Wall Street Journal. I guess you don't read.
I don't subscribe to the Wall Street Journal.
It's out.
But
it's
Jose Feliciano is one of the 4 finalists, so that's not anything unexpected. He is the one that we seem to know the least about. He's the one who owns the Chelsea soccer team, major English Premier League team, one of the biggies in English soccer. Darren can probably tell us more with his English soccer knowledge about Chelsea and how they've been run and how they've been doing. But $3.9 billion is probably the headline here.
That's
all I can see is the first 2 sentences. Padres are nearing a deal to be sold to private equity billionaire Jose Feliciano and his wife Kwanzaa Jones, according to people familiar with the matter. The deal values the Padres at around $3.9 billion.
All right, let's do a deep
dive.
That
is I believe, a $3.1 billion profit on what the Seidlers paid for the team back in 2012.
Wow.
Pretty good. 14 years, go up $3.1 billion. It's a good investment.
Say so.
Peter Seidler's vision for what the Padres could be in San Diego. Somewhere up there, Peter's nodding like, I told you all. Well, you know what? The city was ready to embrace, a team that would spend on some star players, and it is absolutely panned out that this is the case.
So what does he own?
Chelsea. Yeah. I mean, obviously he owns investment companies and stuff, but sports-wise, Chelsea FC from the English Premier League is his other major sports holding. So, everyone going to dive into the Jose Feliciano and what we know and what we don't know. I think he's from Mexico, right? He's, I believe that's what we learned when we first went through some of the potential owners for the San Diego Padres. So,
interesting.
Puerto Rico,
not Mexico. Okay.
Puerto Rican-born American businessman and investor. Okay. Graduated from Princeton University with a degree in mechanical and aerospace engineering. It's a smart dude.
Clear Lake Capital is the name of his investment firm. His net worth, according to Wikipedia, $4.4 billion. So, obviously,
now he just breaks even.
Yeah. Spent every single dollar he has on the San Diego Padres. He's got nothing left to invest in the team. That's not how it generally works.
No, it's definitely not how it works.
Probably there are other members of his ownership group, and we'll maybe find out more details.
All right,
and when it becomes official.
We got D. Smith coming up next. We'll ask him about Chelsea and what that means for us.
All right, we have cut short a little DDT. Let's take a break. We'll come back and do a little more research, and we can also talk to D. Smith about what he knows. Yeah, breaking news from the Wall Street Journal. Jose Feliciano.
Again, it's nearing a deal.
Nearing completion of a deal. Nothing official yet. But $3.9 billion, the reported sale price for the San Diego Padres. That's the news here on 97.3 The Fan. We'll be back with Darren Smith coming up next year on the home of the Padres.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
All right, let's go to a little smaller stakes. Table stakes at 7 Mile Casino. You're not going to put billions of dollars on the table, but you can go high limit at 7 Mile Casino. They know how to take care of their high limit players. If you're a Texas Hold'em player, you're looking for a decent high limit game, they will help you out. They've got tables going 24/7, different kinds of card games, California style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow, and Baccarat at San Diego's best, most upscale, just fun card room that you can play at 7 Mile.
Yeah, man. The best part, just 7 minutes from Petco Park. We just talked about it. Listen, it took me forever to get home. If we get down to Petco Park yesterday, had I just pushed on a little bit further, Ben, just 7 minutes from my exit there. Could have been at 7 Mile Casino, enjoying some Kung Pao chicken and some California-style blackjack, some Texas Hold'em, some Pai Gow, and some Baccarat.
Weekend, a great time to check it out because Saturdays and Sundays, they got the brunch at Sammy's at 7 Mile, voted the best in the South County, available only 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on those weekend days. Enjoy it on the patio. Beautiful weekend coming up. Make it a time to go down to 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
He just, here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Well, after 3 minutes of furiously researching Jose Feliciano, I really haven't learned anything much new. Philanthropy, stuff that, billionaires tend to do. Lots of boards, Stanford University, LA 28 Olympic Committee, arts, things like that. Don't really have a full picture of Jose Feliciano yet.
D. Smith can help.
Yeah, we got Darren Smith standing by. Why don't we get right to him after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Sue Aller.
This traffic report is brought to you by Rivermark Medical. The 125 north at Lemon Avenue, there's a crash. It's taking out the left lane. Delays start at the 94. And another accident slows you down north on the 15 at Claremont Mesa Boulevard. Rivermark Medical is conducting a rapid 3 study for flow stent, a minimally invasive device designed to relieve symptoms from BPH. Men 45 or older suffering from frequent, painful, or difficulty urinating may qualify. Learn more at rivermarkmedical.com. That's rivermarkmedical.com. I'm Sue Aller with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Again, the breaking news from the Wall Street Journal, the Padres close to a $3.9 billion sale to Jose E. Feliciano, who owns the Chelsea Football Club in the English Premier League. And it just happens that the person that we know that knows the English Premier League the best is joining us right now in Darren Smith, our friend from SDFC on the Friar Territory podcast. Hi, Darren. What do we know about Chelsea, if anything, and Jose Feliciano, if this is, in fact, going to be the new owner of the Padres?
Good morning. I don't think their fans really love their club right now. As a matter of fact, I think I was reading earlier this week that their fans are staging some sort of protest against Chelsea upcoming this weekend. But I will say, I do think that a lot of the anger that Chelsea fans have towards their club right now is towards Todd Boehly, who's more often associated with the Dodgers. So I don't know that makes anybody feel any better. I don't see Feliciano's name come up very often or hear it. I hear Todd Boehly usually in the crosshairs. He's sort of become the chairperson and the face of Chelsea Football Club's American ownership group. So, but he's part of it. So, yeah, I don't know that it's great, but there's like a protest, and you're reading all about how fans are just upset with the team, and the coach left mid-season, and they've won one of their last 6 or 7. So, it just seems like it's kind of a mess, and the fans there have expressed that frustration in myriad ways.
Is that your team, by the way, Chelsea?
No.
No, okay.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It is not. So I take great delight in watching this, although I might have to change my tune now if, in fact, this is true and Feliciano ends up becoming the owner of the Padres.
This is so good.
Sounds like it will, yeah.
Now, I saw that it's not that Chelsea is afraid to spend money on players.
Right.
They do that. It's just maybe the wrong players and the wrong people running the team, perhaps.
Well, I think it's that it's run very much like a Wall Street trading company in that they are in it to buy players low price, sell them higher price, accumulate a stockpile of them, decide when it makes sense to play them to maximize their value, and then when they hit their peak, move on from them. So it is very much become a transactional club in that standpoint, that it's just all about and listen, there's a lot of clubs around the world that have to act like this. And I think Chelsea fans have gotten used to see the brief history of Chelsea was they had a Russian oligarch who was their owner named Roman Abramovich. And then when Russia invaded Ukraine, everybody's like, hey, we got to get this guy out of here. And that guy just spent money like no man's business. He's like, hey, I'm just going to be spending millions every week. I don't really care. All I'm interested in is winning. I don't care how much money I lose. So these fans got spoiled. And then Todd Bowley and his group went in there and they started doing things just a bit differently. And they're like, hey, what happened? Maybe it was okay that we had this Russian oligarch in here. What was the big deal? Was it really that bad? Why were we complaining? But that wasn't an option. Like, they took the club away from the guy. They're like, at that time where they were seizing all these Russian assets all over the world. Anyway, so, this group just, it's not been that. And people, I think, are a little bit leery about, U.S. ownership in England. So I don't know. I don't know how much Jose Feliciano really has to do with it, but he is a part of it. And, their fans are kind of cranky and letting it be known. Now, what does that mean for the Padres? I don't know. I mean, I really don't. I have no idea. Maybe this is an opportunity for Jose Feliciano to get out from the shadow and to be like, yeah, now we're getting run around here by Todd Bowley and the way he wants to do this business. Maybe, hopefully that's the case for Padre fans. And he comes in here and he gets to be his own person. I mean, that certainly, I think there's reason at least to think that is plausible, that's possible with this guy coming through the door if in fact this happens.
So now what you're saying is potentially that Harold Reynolds and Greg Amsinger and Dan Plesac are all going to get their wish, and Fernando Tatis Jr. will be traded at the deadline, just like they do in Chelsea, flipping somebody, and listen, if that happens, I may have to hang him up because I'd be pretty embarrassed. I'd be pretty embarrassed.
Harold Reynolds just rubbing his hands.
Yeah,
together.
just rubbing his hands, going like sell.
Now, the one thing I will say, because Ben, you just mentioned that you were, furiously going to Wikipedia pages. I mean, you know the name Jose Feliciano, right? Like this is the musician's son, isn't it?
Is it his son?
Oh, I didn't think that they were related.
Are they not? Am I just
putting
like two and two together and saying like Jose Feliciano because they're both Puerto Rican?
I saw nothing that they're two
not
are related.
Okay.
So
I thought I read that they were somewhere, but then it was kind of blurry, and I didn't really,
This is Jose E. Feliciano. Not that makes a difference, but it's not Jose Feliciano Jr. It's not the same name, at least.
Well, and again,
I thought I read that it was, and then I was like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. And then I kind of lost interest. But
his wife is a singer as well, Kwanzaa Jones, and she is reported in the Wall Street Journal as part of the ownership. It's framed as both Jose Feliciano and his wife, Kwanzaa Jones, and that they're buying the team together. I mean, I think it's mostly his money, but from his Clear Lake capital, but they're coming in together as the owners of the Padres. As the kind of siders, your spouses are part of it, so she is part of it as well.
Okay, I'm open-minded about it. I mean, I really am. I do think it's such a new era. I mean, I think it's going to be a real adjustment for a lot of us to think now that maybe this is part of this massive group when we're so used to having access to owners, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like, we were so used to being able to say, like we probably all have Peter Seidler's number still in our phone, and Ron Fowler's. And, I know that John Moore's was a little bit, further away. But there was a time where he would walk through the concourses. And I do wonder what this is going to look like now, because modern sports ownership, especially at this price, almost $4 billion, sort of, screams that it's going to be, just part of this massive kind of private equity. Will it feel personal? Will it won't? So I am kind of curious to know what this is going to look like and what it's going to feel like between now and the end of the year, because I know how much we all liked it, feeling like we had a personal connection to the person who was running the show. And maybe that'll still be the case. I'm not sure. I don't know how anybody could predict that, but it does feel like it's different, doesn't it?
It does, and crazy to speculate, what this guy will be like as an owner today. Obviously, and again, no correlation at all between how he runs one business and how he runs another. And just to be able to talk to him, to hear, what his vision is, what his plan is. I mean, you spend that much money on a team, I got to imagine you'd like to keep the train rolling here, and keep the people in the ballpark and keep the good players coming and try to be the owner that brings a flag here for once.
Yeah, I'm 100%. And I would have to think the thing that made this attractive. Now, maybe I'm just not business savvy enough to understand, what the financial reward could be, heading into CBA negotiation or what have you. But, I would have to think that part of what makes the Padres attractive is, what it looks like in the ballpark and the success that it's had over the last 6 years now. So, you'd have to think that's it. And, being in the city and being in a place where so many people would love to live and so many people, work hard to remain living in. You'd have to think that's all part of it, that it's not just, the transaction. But again, I don't claim to understand, the mindset of people that operate in this space. So, sometimes like these guys, it's just so interesting to me, right? One of the other guys that was linked to the team, he owns another team in England and Everton and a team in Rome. And you're sort of like, where do you feel connected? Where, do you feel connected to any of this? Or is this just, are you just gobbling up assets all across the globe?
That's right.
Because it makes sense, because you're in PE, private equity. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm open-minded. I'm very optimistic. I want to believe that this is somebody who's going to come in here, who's going to resonate. And I'm really hoping that's going to be the case. But I am glad. I mean, at some point you'd think we got to get going with this. Like how much longer, can we sort of just be in limbo here, wondering who can or can't make any sort of decisions and finances and all that sort of stuff. So, I'm excited to know that at least this is moving forward. I think that's, whatever it is that's going to be on the other side, none of us can predict, but I do like knowing that at least, we'll have an idea of how things are going to operate again at some point, because we really right now just have no idea.
Talking to Darren Smith on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around the fact that did I say graph?
You
again?
did.
Yeah. That's how you look. The fact that the team that used to train in Yuma and feed Randy Jones a cup of soup
Lipton
a day
soup.
at spring training is now worth not $3.9 billion.
Bonkers.
That is crazy. Let's talk a little
crazy.
SDFC.
By the way,
Darren.
can I just ask?
Yeah.
I know you guys were just talking about Randy Jones and Mason Miller, and it reminded me. Remember when Randy, at the end of his career, after he moved on from the Padres, he went to the Mets, and he used to tell the story. It was great, and I'm sure you guys have heard it. But remember who his pitching coach was with the Mets? His first pitching coach with the Mets was Bob Gibson.
Oh,
right.
Oh my God.
Like 97, 96, right-hander. And Randy shows up there, crafty lefty, humping it up at 82. And he said Bob Gibson watched him throw a bullpen one day and was like, I got nothing. I can't help you. I have no idea what you do out there. I cannot.
You're playing a different game than I did. I don't know what
he's like, good luck to you. I don't have anything to say to you. But good luck to you this season. He's like, that was the extent of our conversation. Bob Gibson had nothing as a pitching coach for me when I was up there.
Randy Jones and Mason Miller. They both pitched and they wore Padres uniforms, and everything else about them is completely different.
Completely
amazing.
Darren, let's talk SDFC. Mikey Varas yesterday when we were there, I was a little surprised, but he said that he felt like the team kind of turned a corner in the game against Minnesota that we were at last week. Had a lot of fun sitting down there. Hard to see it maybe as fans when you lose 2-1 and you haven't won a game in an MLS game in over a month, but he seemed fairly encouraged by what he saw. How about you?
Yeah, it's frustrating. You sort of in disbelief that you're gonna see another player sent off. Although it's the same player. Now for the third time in Chris McVay, who seems like an unlikely candidate to find himself in that situation. But I think he was talking about some of the individual performances and just the way the team's like, hey, we're not gonna, we're not gonna raise the white flag here. We're not gonna quit. So, I do think, from that standpoint, there were some things to be encouraged about. And, I had the chance to chat with him for the pregame show, and I asked, like, how are you evaluating this? When you're playing a man down for 45 minutes or 70 minutes every other match. He's like, yeah, like I have to learn to not be angry first and then to be open-minded about some of the positive performances. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to a place now it's going to be hard. It's a team that's very young, and it's a team that's on a little bit of a roll. They don't have a loss over their last 5 or 6. So I think this one is going to be tricky. It's at altitude, Salt Lake. Salt Lake had a week off. It's just like, stop getting the red cards. It's hard to evaluate this on any level, I think, because the game just completely turns away from what you thought it was going to be. And even if that happens over the course of a match, it's not because you're a man down every game. So you'd just like to get through this and see what you look like on the other side. But yeah, I mean, he seemed like he was in pretty good spirits for you guys. I mean, for the scrum, and then also when I had a chance to chat with him as well, that he seems like he believes that there's still a good team that it was last year that was record-setting in its inaugural season. So he believes that team is still there, and that these players, that their pride's a little wounded. They're not used to losing. They're not they're used to winning, and so they're sick of it. And I think he's encouraged by what it is that he sees certainly out there on the training ground as well.
Darren, really appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
Couple game road trip for SDFC, Salt Lake, then Houston. So we'll have a lot to talk about next Friday, and probably more on the Padres sale as well. Have a good weekend, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks,
appreciate
Smith.
There's Darren Smith on our SDCCU fan hotline.
We will actually get more information. Jared Diamond, who wrote the story for Wall Street Journal, will join us to wrap up the show at 9:35.
Okay.
And it looks like he will have more details here shortly that he's working on right now.
Excellent work, my friend.
I see, when Darren said that Chelsea, flips players. In soccer, you can buy a player for $1 million and then sell them for $5 million. You can't do that in baseball. You can't trade Fernando Tatis Jr. for $50 million. You can trade him for prospects. You can trade him, but that doesn't make the owner any money when you trade someone.
What can I get for you?
I don't know.
What did I buy
Flip
you
me?
for?
Yeah,
if I flipped you, what can I get for you? Is what I want to know.
It's not how baseball works.
It's not how radio works, unfortunately.
They can't be coming in. Yeah.
Hollywood rich.
Our plan is to buy cheap players and then sell them to the Yankees for, massive, high-priced contracts. Is Ben
like a chrome refractor, or is he just a paper base card?
I know.
They're not baseball cards. Yeah,
exactly right.
You can trade them for cheaper, younger players, but that doesn't make you any money. In fact, my guess would be if you traded all your high talent players right now, you would lose a lot of money if you're the San Diego Padres owner. I think they know that.
Yeah.
You rarely are dumb to make a $40 billion investment company, work. You're probably not a stupid person. So I'm going to have faith that Jose E. Feliciano makes some wise decisions going forward.
Yeah, Dennis Len just tweeted as well. Sources tell Ken Rosenthal, Ambridge, Giroli, and me. Wall Street Journal was on it. There you go.
Okay. Jared Diamond, give us what he knows coming up at 9:35 this morning in our final segment, which will be very interesting. Until then, though, got plenty to get to in our 8 o'clock hour, including Take on Woods. Get to a Randall report, and of course a management report. All of a sudden, AJ Preller may have a new boss that he answers to in the next few weeks. Doubt he'll be able to say anything about that either, but we will have him on a management report Friday, all coming up with Bennett Woods. Stick around. Much more to come on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Wow, we are halfway home on a busy. I was expecting today would be nice and loose, just relaxed, 8-game win streak, and just come in and cruise till 10 a.m. But it's not the case.
We got to like 7:59 just now, and you heard the legal ID and the show open started, and I went. I took a deep breath. I was like, that was a busy 2 hours.
It was. It's a little bit of drinking from the fire hose, but that's how we like it here on Ben and Woods. Thanks so much for being here with us this Friday. And, every Friday, it feels like, and every other day of the week as well. Really, really happy to be here with you. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of the program. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well.
Reacting to the breaking news from the Wall Street Journal that the Padres are close to being sold to investor Jose E. Feliciano for $3.9 billion. Now, our friend Scott Lewis from Voice of San Diego just threw in a tweet that made me, he's always a smart guy.
Well, as his tweets make you go,
and he said, so sources are reporting this. Are they sources who are hoping for a higher bid? I think his implication is, could the Padres have leaked this? Because if, one of the other bidders goes, well, is 3.9 the highest?
Here's 4.2.
Then here's 4.1.
Yeah.
What actually stops the process? If you can always go back and say, he's offering 3.9. Would you like to do any better than that? And then it's a case of, do you actually believe it if you're one of the other bidders, or is this part of a elaborate game of negotiations that's going on in the final stages? And could there still be a late twist, an unexpected twist? I don't know. I don't know if that is possible or not at this point.
Sure is fun to talk about and speculate. I got people in the chat already going, oh man, my doomer's coming out. This is not going to go well. I'm like, should we give him the chance to A, sign on the dotted line, B, speak one time before we judge?
There's some fun in that.
Is there no fun in that? Being sensible. There's no fun in being sensible, Paulie. You're right.
I think it's unquestionably a good thing that the Padres are getting out of the limbo of the end of the Seidler ownership after Peter passed away, the lawsuit between, Scheel and the brothers and John Seidler taking over. Yeah, but
it is time to turn the page.
You didn't see a long-term future. Okay, this is, the Seidlers are going to just keep putting tons of money into this team forever and ever. That clearly wasn't going to happen. The second they decided to sell the team, all right, they're ready to be done with this and move on. So the Padres need a new owner.
Back in November of 23 when Peter died that it was just a matter of time.
Yeah. So they've needed a new owner now for two years, and they're finally getting a new owner. So in that sense, that is a positive move forward. Now, what kind of owner is it going to be? I will fully admit, because I had the question yesterday asked me multiple times, who are you rooting for of the four? And I said, it's not a horse race. I have to know what I don't know. I fully admit, when Peter Seidler bought the team, my first instinct was, ew. Dodger
lover.
Dodger,
Ben, you do a great
grandson
job.
Man,
of Walter O'Malley.
You were plotting your exit maybe up north once that happened.
No, I just felt like this doesn't feel like the right fit for the San Diego Padres.
Agreed.
Couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
So I've learned that this time I'm just going to say I have no idea which one of the four. I'm at 25% on all four of them. I did say I think I know the least about Jose E. Feliciano.
Yep.
Just because not as familiar with his teams and, his private interests as some of the other guys, but that doesn't mean anything either. It's not a good or a bad thing.
Yeah, my father-in-law knows Joe Lacob. And so I was like, all right, well, at least I'd have an in if you wanted to be like, hey, it's my son-in-law. He's kind of an idiot. But take care of him. Whatever.
Probably hear about some of the stuff he says about you.
Exactly. But anyway, I'll make the introduction. But I don't know that he doesn't know Jose Feliciano. I have no idea. So I will reach out and find out. But man, listen. Here's what it boils down to, for me. Be a steward of the Padres. Be an embracer of San Diego, its people, its culture, the fans. Petco Park, the team, spend money. That's your job as an owner.
Spend
money and install and reiterate a commitment to winning a world championship, and not just one, multiple world championships.
That's what you ask of from any owner in any market for any sport of any team ever. Be a good steward, spend your money.
When this process all kind of started and we were kicking around random names, Mark Cuban and Steve Ballmer and guys like that. And we were talking, like, do you want the passionate, fiery owner who's seen at every single
like
game,
Steve Cohen,
posting on social media, blasting the team when they're not doing well? Or do you want the guy that you don't really know anything about him because he's not forward facing?
He just spends cash.
Just, opens the checkbook. Like, that's kind of what I want. Like, AJ Preller can just be the spokesperson for the Padres organization as far as I'm concerned. He make the moves and buy the team, open up the checkbook, let's spend, let's keep this thing going.
I'm looking up I'm looking to see if he's very active on Twitter. He's not. So win already. The Steve Cohen tweet the other day, it was hard for me to get my head around that. For the last 48 hours, I've been thinking about Steve Cohen's tweet. Like, hey, I know you guys are bummed and we're like the worst team in baseball, but Francisco Lindor hit a ball hard tonight. And it's just like, what? Nobody wants that from there. They do not need their owner turd polishing their turd. They really don't. That's what we're here for.
So if this report turns out to be true, and in the next few days, the sale is finalized, the next steps will be approval from the rest of Major League Baseball ownership. That generally takes a few weeks when they can get together and make an official vote. I would imagine all the owners kind of in one sense are very happy. If the Padres are worth $3.9 billion, what is my team worth right now?
No doubt.
That's got to be undoubtedly good news among that fraternity, which will make them want to approve it. They are also, I think, have a little trepidation because they're going into a CBA negotiation with the Players Union. And the Players Union is going to see, your teams are now worth $3.9 billion, and we're going to be haggling over a salary cap at this point. I don't think so. We want our cut of what you're now making on this incredibly valuable, asset that you have, making billions of dollars on. Yeah, you should be paying more in salaries. Padres reportedly have about $300 million in debt from the spending of the Peter Seidler era, which is a lot. That's why, other owners around baseball go, I don't want to have to go into $300 million of debt. But when you compare $300 million of debt to a $3.1 billion profit on the sales price, all right, that's $2.8 billion instead. That's still a really good investment and really a good argument as to why other teams should also be spending on players and investing in players' salaries to increase the values of their franchises. And that's something that the Players Union is going to use like a cudgel during negotiations. Like, I mean, come on, look at what you're doing here. You're supposed to, you're getting all this money and you want to rein in salaries while you're making billions on your team? I don't think so.
It's actually, it helps the players out tremendously.
It does.
Yeah.
There haven't been a ton of like Major League Baseball sales in the last, 15, 20 years.
Cohen was
the Orioles, right? There's been a few.
The Twins tried to sell. They didn't get the price they were looking for, so they pulled it off the market.
That'll be the
owner's argument. They'll say the Padres are an outlier.
Yeah.
Southern California.
I don't think so, though.
I don't know if they are or not, but that'll be the argument that the owners make.
And I know this isn't typically how it works. It's not like necessarily one team gets sold and then, that's the first domino to fall. Right. But does this tell guys like Bob Nutting and, Pirates, Colorado, some of these teams that are struggling, like, does this give them the urge to at least maybe get back into the idea of, should we explore a sale? If the Padres are going for $3.9 billion, things aren't going well for us here. Our whole fan base wants us to sell anyways. Should we look into that?
I think you're onto something. I mean, they all know now there are at least 3 bidders who are willing to probably go well above $3 billion to buy the San Diego Padres that didn't get the team.
Right.
And are wondering, well, I mean, we just put together a group that can spend that much. Why don't we see what other teams might be interested in taking our $3+ billion and buy a Major League Baseball team?
You put up 3.7 for the Padres. Can we interest you in the Pirates and Paul Skeens and Connor Griffin and all these guys? Like, I don't know.
They're following that blueprint now of trying to lock up some stars and get more asses in the seats. But it may be too little, too late. I mean, if you're Bob Nutting in Pittsburgh, Yeah, locking up Connor Griffin was great. But you have you done enough right now? You spent a little money in the offseason. Your team is actually playing really well. And I still don't think anybody's going to watch them play because of all of the years of poor performance and not spending and getting rid of stars. It adds up, and fans are like, no, man, I need a different guy at the helm to do this. But Peter really laid the blueprint out, and again, it's corny, but it is, if you build it, they will come, and they did, and they have, and look what's happening.
I keep thinking about Artie Moreno too. I mean, Angels are doing okay right now, but they've been a pretty disappointing team
massively
for the last
massively.
The most disappointing team based on what they spend in baseball over the last 20 years.
The amount of players, the star players, Hall of Famers that they have had, it just never works. And Artie keeps, doing this dance. Is he going to sell? Is he not going to sell? The team's for sale. Oh, just kidding. No, it's not. Man, you see a sale like this potential deal for the Padres, and you're just like, I imagine the Angels would fetch a pretty penny as well, being in Southern California and all of that. And you got to think, does Artie Moreno go, all right, maybe we'll look back into that again?
Probably.
At some point, I think, every family owner in professional sports will eventually sell, and we'll have nothing but private equity owners, because there's just no way that individuals are going to be able to put together like the money necessary to have, buy a team without having the backing of a private equity capital group that, to provide all that funding.
I mean, I would love if Manny Sedano bought the Padres, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I was cheering for Baja Rick.
Baja Rick would have been an amazing owner.
So enthusiastic.
Oh my!
I mean, I don't know how many plates of fajitas he would have to sell to have enough money to buy the Padres, but local guy who passionate about baseball and the team.
Yeah.
Baja Rick. Now, it needs to be a private equity
Manny
guy.
Sedano?
I just said, Manny Sedano. I love
owns multiple companies, trades and sells companies.
Yeah.
That's the only way to amass enough money.
The seventh inning stretch brought to you by 7 Mile Casino.
Exactly right.
Come on,
we would have been set there. All right. Do you know that I was just looking at this. Somebody put it in the chat. I wanted to go verify. In Major League Baseball, a single private equity firm can own only up to 15% of a team, while an individual club is permitted to sell a total of 30% of its equity to private equity investors. So you could have
You're hurting my
I'm
brain.
going to watch you try to make this make sense. I can't follow what you're saying.
So a private equity firm can buy 15% of the team. So they control 15%.
Aren't the Dodgers owned entirely by a private equity
Guggenheim?
firm? Yeah.
Is it several different offshoots
I don't know.
of Guggenheim?
You make this make sense, because I've got no idea.
Well, listen, when you need intelligent conversation on private equity, I'm the guy to come to. I got like $17 to my name. Come ask me about private equity.
We may need to get your father-in-law on to explain things
for
to
sure.
us at some point.
And even then, I still wouldn't understand.
Let's take a little time out. When we come back, I think we need a little take on Woods just to break up everything this morning. If you want to try to qualify to win the Padres field level tickets for the Memorial Day game against the Phillies, music, TV, or movie trivia is coming up next against Woods. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Call now, and we've got AJ Preller coming up at the top of the hour with probably some very non-comment comments about this report of the sale of the San Diego Padres, but it is a Friar Friday and a management report Friday. It is all coming up with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3, The Fan. Instead of talking about making and gaining, let's talk about losing now. Weight, that is, at sdfatloss.com. It's the natural alternative to the GLP-1s that, yes, suppress your appetite, but every other thing that they give you is not good. Muscle loss, metabolism goes down, makes it harder to keep the weight off. The cost, weekly injections can run you $3,000 to $5,000 a year. And if you ever stop, you're probably just going to gain the weight right back. SDFatLoss.com is different. It's quick weight loss, up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 2 months. And it does so naturally by eating the right foods at the right times. They coach you up and they help you out to get you through it. And then when you're done, It's so much easier to keep the weight off. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. I've kept that weight off for 3 years. You can be the next success story. Like so many tier ones here in San Diego, you can be the next. Just sign up with a free consultation at sdfatloss.com. And if you sign up for the program now, get $200 off during their spring special. Do it now before summer hits. Lose the weight quickly, up to a pound of fat per day at sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Not only did the Padres win their 8th game in a row.
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
and
we've
all the
hubbub. They actually gained ground on the Los Angeles Dodgers, finally.
Because they were idle.
Because the Dodgers did not play. They picked up a half a game.
Yes.
Which
1.5
means
back.
Winning 11 out of 12. The Padres have gone from 3 back to 1.5 back.
Unbelievable run, man.
In that run.
Unbelievable run.
So if they can just win like 22 of their next 23 games, they might be able to tie the Dodgers in the standings.
That may be it for me as a baseball fan, by the way, if that happened. Like, Padres roll off 22 out of 23. You look at the standings, you go, we're tied. We are tied in the West.
You know, the Padres were so far back, but you think back to the 2017 season when the Giants and Dodgers won 107 and 106 games, and you got to be thinking, man, any other division we would be up by 15 games at this point.
Be a cruise control in the Central or something.
You can never back off the gas pedal when you're trying to catch the Dodgers because they just don't lose very often.
Yep.
The Dodgers will be back in action tonight. Who are they playing? Let's see. They have, according to the MLB schedule in front of me.
Rockies.
Oh, well, there you go.
Colorado.
Very cool.
Glass now against Tomoyuki Sugano. All right. Well, hey, if you sweep the Angels this weekend, there's a chance you may stay exactly where you are behind the Los Angeles.
They get 4
Dodgers
against the Rockies. Great. All right. Very cool.
All right. Let's get to today's game. It is time to play some Take on Woods. Take on Woods brought to you by Bail Arms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. Let's go to line 5. I'm told this is Marco. Good morning, Marco.
Hey, good morning, man. Thank you for having me.
All right, Woods is gone. You get to play first. 5 questions of trivia. If you beat or tie him, you will go into our grand prize drawing for the field level seats for the Padres-Phillies game on Memorial Day. You get your choice of music, TV, or movie trivia. Here are the categories. In music, On the Clock, 5 songs that include a specific time of day in the title. TV, It's My Show, 5 television shows that include the word show in the title. And our new movie category, Here Comes the Bride, 5 movies with bride in the title. So music, On the Clock, TV, It's My Show, or movies, Here Comes the Bride. Marco, what would you like to play?
TV shows.
TV shows. All right. TV shows that include the word show in the title. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, you can pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First questions, our 2-second TV theme song. Paulie will play a short clip of a TV theme song. You need to identify the show based on the music. Marco, you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right. Beat or tie Woods will put you into the drawing for the Padres tickets. It's My Show is the category. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paulie plays our TV theme. Good luck, Marco. Let's take on Woods.
It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational.
Carol Burnett show?
Incorrect. Which 1980s #1 sitcom followed the lives of successful African-American couple Cliff and Claire Huxtable? Correct.
Cosby Show.
Correct. Which legendary 1960s sitcom was set in Mayberry, North Carolina, with characters including Don Knotts as Barney Fife and a young Ron Howard as Opie?
Andy Griffith Show?
Correct. Cleveland Rocks was the theme song from the 3rd season forward of which ABC sitcom from the late 90s and early 2000s?
Pass.
Long before The Voice or American Idol, amateur acts competed on which 1970s talent show in which any of the 3 celebrity judges could stop the act and winners would receive $516.32? Let's go back to Cleveland Rocks was the theme song from the 3rd season forward.
Drew Carey.
That is correct. Long before The Voice or American Idol. All right, you got 3 correct. You got Cosby Show, the Andy Griffith Show, the Drew Carey Show. The theme song was The Muppet Show. That was Kermit the Frog. And The Gong Show was the talent competition from the 1970s. So you got 3. I have no idea, Marco.
No,
hang on
I
the
don't
line. This could go anyway. TV category today, Woods.
I remember when it used to be music.
I know. Hasn't been music all week.
In a while.
But you've won every game, I think, this week. We had a qualifier in real or fake, but we'll see if you can do TV.
My weakest link.
60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when we play our TV theme song. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Marco.
It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational.
Sesame Street?
Incorrect. Which 1980s number one sitcom followed the lives of successful African-American couple Cliff and Claire Huxtable?
Cosby Show.
Correct. Which legendary 1960s sitcom was set in Mayberry, North Carolina, with characters
The
including...
Andy Griffith Show.
Correct. Cleveland Rocks was the theme song from the third season forward of which ABC sitcom from the late 90s and early 2000s?
Cleveland Rocks? Oh, no. Pass.
Long before The Voice or American Idol, amateur acts competed on which 1970s talent show?
The Gong Show.
Correct. Let's go back to Cleveland Rocks was the theme song from the third season forward of which ABC sitcom from the late 90s and early 2000s?
The Taint Show.
Oh, no. And it's a 3-3 tie.
Is it
So
the
Marco.
Muppet Show, the first one?
Yeah, it was the Muppet Show. And the Cleveland Rocks was the Drew Carey Show.
Carey Show.
Either one of those would have been the difference.
Yes.
Damn it.
Well done, Marco. Stay on the line. Right. You have qualified for the Padres tickets in a 3-3 tie. The category was It's My Show.
Okay.
Shows with show in the title.
Damn it. Should have had that one. Should have had the Muppet Show.
It was Kermit the Frog. With Sesame Street, you were on the right track, obviously.
I thought I heard
Jim
like
Henson.
some Bert and Ernie.
That
in
was
there or
I think it was just Kermit and then
It's
all
time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational.
Muppetational, this is what we call the Muppet Show.
Save it. You can use it in a prank call for something. Hey, our friend Ben is insane. Here he is. Play it back on the air.
Muppetational, this is what we call the Muppet Show.
So if you could get him in today, that would be spectacular. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, since we have both AJ Preller and Jared Diamond from the Wall Street Journal now in our final hour. Paulie's going to give us some Rondell Report headlines coming up in our next segment. We are broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
But first, we were talking about Manny Sedano earlier. I know, listen, not going to be able to buy the San Diego Padres, but that's okay. It can still give you a really, really great deal on the car or truck of your dreams. Man, obviously, you know the connection we have to Ford and my family, and it is a legacy of hard work and American grit. So my friends down at Sedano Ford and Lincoln this weekend, man, get down there, hop into a new ride with some really, really great deals like the 26 Ford Mustang EcoBoost Fastback, $299 a month. They've got the 2025 F-150 Lightning XLT, which is such a beautiful truck, for $298 a month. The 2025 Ford Ranger XLT is $289 a month. And the premium electric drive, the 2026 Mustang Mach-E Select, just $346 a month. So from my family's history at the factory to Manny's history of service, Sedano Ford and Lincoln are dealerships that San Diego can trust. Make sure to tell them Woodsy sent you when you go down there. And again, get you in a great automobile. The car or truck of your dreams can be found right down there at the dealership in LeMay. So check it out today. For more details about these offers, go to SedanoFord.com. Once again, SedanoFord.com.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
We're giving you and a guest a chance to go away with Weezer on their Weezer The Gathering tour. Get hooked up with flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and pair of tickets to see Weezer, plus a meet and greet with the band, and a signed set list thanks to Live Nation and Crush Music. All you have to do to enter is listen to us on the Odyssey app. Download the free app, create your account, favorite our station, listen for an hour to get your daily entry, and then come back each day for another chance to win. This is a national contest. Padres Angels tonight. Angels got an 11-4 win over the Yankees yesterday with Mike Trout making a little baseball history, Woods. No one has ever homered in every game of a 4-game series on the road at Yankee Stadium.
I can't even imagine.
It's a lot of history.
That's so bad.
He had 5 of them actually in the 4-game series.
What a trip to the Bronx.
That is badass, man.
Aaron Judge also homered 4 times in the series as well. It was quite the series. Joe Adele hit a grand slam yesterday, and the Angels, who I believe have the most home runs in all of baseball, will be hosting the Padres for the next 3 games tonight at the Big A.
Big A.
Hopefully a lot of Padres fans, Tier 1s, making their way up via the 5 freeway or the train to the Big A in Anaheim to check out some baseball this weekend.
Did you guys have any designs on getting up to the Big A?
Not this weekend.
I always think
I've never
about it.
actually been.
It's really the easy.
I really want to go.
You go every other year now. It's the easiest road trip possible as
fun.
a Padres fan.
I got a big helmet full of nachos, like a huge Angels helmet full of nachos. Julio Rodriguez threw my kids a ball. I mean, we were like right on the front, down by the foul line, like on the wall. It was one of the best. It was easy in,
plenty of
easy
parking,
out.
plenty of parking.
Ironically easy.
Lots of free. I mean, there's like 19 freeways that like surround the stadium, so you can go in and out multiple ways.
It's great. I mean, it was great. The people were so kind, they're so nice. Now we were there.
Yeah, there's not the animosity of going to LA for the Dodgers or anything.
We were there watching the Mariners and Angels, so we weren't even repping gear because we're not, insecure.
That person who wears their gear,
full team's gear
not playing
when the team's not even playing in the same
the guy
stadium.
who's dressed in Yankees gear for the Padres opening day against the Tigers.
Yeah, I was mostly thinking of another team that does it constantly.
Yes.
That said, it was really great. Like, it was great.
Yeah, my buddy and I, back when Ohtani was cool and pitching and playing on the Angels, we were literally like circling every 5 dates on the calendar. Like, hey, maybe this weekend we can go up and watch Shohei pitch, go to an Angels game.
I know, missed it all.
And I just never pulled the trigger.
I know. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's
I think I've been up for baseball games just 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
but not a bad experience.
No interest
it's
this
not
weekend?
Petco Park, but I actually kind of do. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe think about it.
Okay.
They usually have tickets available too, which
Yeah.
is nice. So you don't have to fight sellout crowds in Anaheim either. So anyway, hopefully we'll hear from a bunch of tier ones in the chat on Monday morning about your experience and hopefully a winning one for the Padres in Anaheim this weekend. This hour on 97.3 The Fan brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball is back, so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now, mention radio for a free month of pool service. Paulie is going to get us caught up with some headlines on the Roundel Report, including the one that we missed during Don't Do This when we were interrupted by the breaking Padres potential ownership news. So we'll do that after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Sue Eller.
This traffic report is brought to you by Rivermark Medical. Still working on a crash on the 5 southbound at Santa Fe Drive. And now there's a collision south on the 15 at Arrow Drive. This one blocks the center divider. Rivermark Medical is conducting a rapid 3 study for flow stent, a minimally invasive device designed to relieve symptoms from BPH. Men 45 or older suffering from frequent, painful, or difficulty urinating may qualify. Learn more at rivermarkmedical.com. That's rivermarkmedical.com. I'm Sue Alder with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Roundel Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Roundel Report with Paul Roundel.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Roundel Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. Happy Friday, gentlemen.
TGIF, baby.
All right, we will get started here. Yeah, a story that we were going to update everybody in the Roundel Report. Padres news came out, and we decided to switch gears. But we were talking yesterday about the viral video that was going around. I believe Barstool actually is shocker, the ones that give the most life to this story.
Yeah.
And it was the video, somebody was over the shoulder of Mariners broadcaster Angie Mentink. They're in the camera well. And as the Padres were capping off their
I don't know that it was that. I don't know that it was that.
It
game.
might have even been.
It might have been a different
earlier
game.
series,
Yeah.
like an older video.
Like an older video that they just ran with.
The video went out as the Padres were capping off that 5-run 9th inning and the big walk-off. And she typed into AI, questions to ask baseball players after a tough loss or whatever. And the post said something along like, journalism is cooked or we're all screwed. This is journalism in 2026, something like that. Everybody was very quick to point out, hey, this woman is recovering from a stroke that she had 2 months ago. She just got back to work in the last 2 weeks. Maybe let's cut her some slack as she's getting her bearings. She's on the road traveling with the team, trying to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
Maybe she was looking for some help. And she even posted a statement herself that I need to pull up.
I liked her.
She had a lot of fun with it. She said, currently asking AI how to handle going viral for using AI with an emoji. In all seriousness, I am late to the AI party. Earlier this season, I experimented with AI to see if it had any questions to add to my list for my post-game coverage. We've come a long way from pen and paper when I started in 1997, always learning. She didn't really even address the actual video.
Well, the fact that somebody creeped over her shoulder to zoom in on her camera is pretty weird.
Yeah. 100%.
I think she makes a really good point in that you're allowed to use any tool you want to try to improve your coverage, whatever you do for work. And if AI is part of that, that's great. I think in my experience, AI's questions like that are pretty bad, but she also could have looked up and gone, yeah, that's a stupid question.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask.
You're certainly allowed to look and go, yeah, that's not helping me at all. Just because you Google something or put it into Chat GPT does not make you a bad reporter in any way. In fact, as she said, all learning experience, hey, Nothing wrong with typing it in and seeing what gets spit out. Now, if all you're doing is relying on AI for like every question and every story, then I don't think you're doing your job as a reporter. But no one was accusing her of doing that.
Did you guys use Cliff's Notes when you were in college?
Never.
Oh, yeah.
That was cheating.
That's not cheating.
That's cheating.
No, it's
you
not.
have to read the original source material.
Well, you do, but you never like got Cliff's Notes for you didn't. I never read them in place of. I read
would have
them
been
as a
ashamed
supplement.
to even own them.
I was an English major and I read them all the time. Used them
I mean,
all the time.
Wikipedia is essentially now Cliff's Notes.
Correct.
Yeah. I used Wikipedia a ton in college, even high school, like
We didn't
as a
have it.
starting point, like at least get you kind of, all right, maybe I should look more into this or whatever. It was just a base point. I have gone ahead and asked AI. The prompt was, what questions should we ask Padres president of baseball operations, AJ Preller, when he calls into our radio show in 15 minutes? They said, you've got a great opportunity. AJ Preller is one of the most aggressive and interesting executives in baseball.
Okay.
Here's a tight radio-ready set you can pull live from.
Okay.
How do you define success for this version of the San Diego Padres? Is it playoffs or bust?
The answer is yes.
What's one thing about this team fans aren't seeing yet that you believe will show up?
Not bad.
What's your confidence level in this starting rotation holding up over 162?
Very broad.
Not like confidence level question. Like
It's
confidence
literally
level.
It's one game at a time. That's all it is.
What's
It's just
harder,
one
making
game.
a blockbuster deal or finding the right role player?
It's an either or question.
Yeah.
Fun radio questions. How many phones do you actually have at once?
Ooh. Okay. I am curious. Do you think he has, how many phones do you think he has?
2.
A work and a personal?
Yeah. Yeah. He must have 2 because he never texted me back on one of them. And no way you could get that many texts from someone and not respond.
No, there is.
All right, we'll move on.
Okay.
That's your update on the DDT. I got an update on a Rondo Report story from earlier in the week. We kind of discussed the NBA's policy now on postseason awards like MVP. Players have to play a minimum of 65 games. You can appeal if you fall short of the 65 games. Now, Anthony Edwards, I think he played 60 games is what I read earlier. His appeal was denied.
Wow.
However,
5 games short?
Yesterday, there were 2 players who were granted eligibility for postseason awards. Luka Doncic and Cade Cunningham from the Pistons are now eligible. And so here's why. They had to go through the full appeal process. Luka played 64 games, 20 minutes or more. He was 1 shy. And he said that he missed 2 games in December while traveling abroad for the birth of his child. They said,
you get a pass.
That's a good reason not to get
a pass.
Now, you could have also figured out how to play 2 other games that you were in. It's not like you had to play all 81 and I missed these 2, but yeah, that's a good excuse.
Cade Cunningham, he played in 63 qualified games, and he missed 12 games after suffering a collapsed lung in mid-March. Again,
sorry, pal.
That got appealed. They said, all right, you're fine. So at least the race for NBA MVP is a little bit more interesting now that a couple of more star
it's
players.
Reasonable. They're trying to stop load management, but not actual like I can't breathe, my lung has collapsed injuries.
Or my child is being born.
Yeah. So that shouldn't hurt your MVP candidacy because you were actually out with something serious.
I agree.
And then just one other quick side note in the NBA. They announced there's going to be an international game next year. The Pacers and the Nuggets will play in Mexico City next season. I believe it'll be early in the season. It says the game will be played during the week of Day of the Dead celebrations in Mexico.
Maybe my wife and I can pretend that we're going to go on this trip too and then cancel with the week left to go. I should be a week from today. I should be on a plane, but I'm not.
2 more NBA regular season games, Paris and Manchester next year.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so NBA
Do
continuing
we
to go
think
international.
the altitude affects like 3-point shots in
no
Mexico
idea.
City? Like, will they fly a little bit further?
Well, you get tired. You get tired
definitely. I mean, it'll
It wouldn't
definitely
be a fun sport to
it
play.
would definitely be tough on the running back and forth. But I wonder, like, is it far enough that when you shoot a 3-pointer, it travels an extra inch?
No
Because
idea.
that could totally throw off a 3-point shooter in the NBA if that's the
All I
case.
know is that you've talked about altitude so much on this show that we were driving the other day and Bo was like, are they at altitude? I'm like, we're at sea level. You know where, like, she's like, oh, because he really likes hearing you talk about altitude.
Well, speaking of going abroad, Italy made history this week. They became the first country to offer paid leave for employees who need to take work off to care for their sick pets.
Well.
This all started with a case almost 10 years ago that started back in 2017, and a librarian in Rome was saying that she had a sick dog, and she argued, like in court, that under Italian law, letting an animal suffer would be a crime. So forcing somebody to choose between going to work or caring for their sick animal would put them in an impossible situation where they need to decide, hey, am I abusing my dog by not giving it the proper care it needs because I got to go to work? You can take up to 3 days a year for sick care for your pets. The pet has to be microchipped. The vet has to confirm that this is an urgent situation.
You have to send a note.
The vet has to give, like, this dog absolutely needed to come in, needed attention or whatever. You can't, you know, I don't know if you can be like, my rabbit didn't look like he was feeling all that great, so I'm going to stay home.
Your thoughts?
All right. You know what? I'm going to be reasonable and say if your pet is sick and you feel like it's an emergency and you need to take them to the vet, that a reasonable employer should be able to let you off for at least a few hours to go take your... Now, 3 days worth. What are you doing to take care of your pet? Are you making it chicken soup?
You're being there with it.
Maybe 3 days. I mean, maybe it's not three straight days.
That's not helping the pet get better. I mean, the pet always wants you there, I assume.
Yeah.
You can't just sit and not lead your life because you have to sit next to your pet all day. You don't know that the pet wants you there. Maybe the pet is thinking, I'm sick. I don't want my owner here. I just want to be alone.
If I was that pet, that would be me.
You don't even know that you're helping when you're at home.
Question. So 3 days, I think 3 days is wild. I do. I think if you called and you guys just got a new pup, and you're like, hey, man, I'll see you guys. It's Monday. And
I think it's more like,
I'll see you guys on Thursday. I'd be like, what is wrong with this?
No, I think it's more like, hey, you get 1 day, this time of year. And then if it happens again 6 months from now, you still have 2 more days left. Yeah. I mean, I guess if somebody could use all 3 days.
Feeding your dog chocolate to get out of work when you're hungover. I mean, here, eat this.
Speaking of the devil, our new dog has very bad stomach issues right now. And I woke up to quite a surprise on the living room floor when I got up this morning. My wife's dealing with more right now. But if I was single, not married, had a dog, and I woke up and she is vomiting, like needs to go to the emergency vet or something. Yeah,
of course. No one's going to say a word.
What are you supposed to do? You're like, sorry, man, I have to take today off. Like,
yeah. Kyle Sade says, my goldfish keeps spitting up. There's no way I can leave right now. No. RVN, nobody said a year off. You get 3 days a year. Per year. A year off for a sick pet, I'm going to have a problem with. I'm going to have full benefits. I'm going to have a real problem with that. Like, how special is this dog? You're taking a year off. Okay. All right. Well, we're just going to find somebody else then at this point. That's a good story. That's interesting. And she won.
Yes.
Good for her.
Yeah, that is now
3 days
a labor law in Italy.
If you guys call me, if you're like, hey man, I just woke up, Chelan is vomiting everywhere, I gotta take it, I'd be like, go. I would never be like, get your ass to work, you do it at 10.
But if I woke up and I said, she looks kind of listless and just kind of laying there.
She just needs a cuddle.
I think I just need to be there for her just in case.
Slit your throat. That's so good.
Just put the cone on their head.
Leave. Put her in the kennel. Come back. You'll be back in 4 hours. All right. That's good stuff. Thank you, Paulie.
You are welcome.
All right. We've got a very busy final hour of Ben and Woods coming up, including a pair of guests on our SDCCU fan hotline, starting with our management report on a Friar Friday. President of Baseball Operations, AJ Preller, will be with us to answer the question that everybody wants to know. How many phones do you actually own, AJ? And then at 9:35, Jared Diamond from the Wall Street Journal broke the news, which has now been confirmed by The Athletic, the Union Tribune, that Jose E. Feliciano is in line to purchase the San Diego Padres for a record $3.9 billion. We'll get more on his reporting and this story all coming up in the final hour of Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Bennett Woods, and just some shockingly sad news.
Oh, man, this sucks.
Announced 3 minutes ago by the Los Angeles Angels, who will host the Padres tonight. They tweeted, "We are deeply saddened to announce the passing of Angels Hall of Famer Garrett Anderson. Garrett will forever hold a special place in the hearts of Angels fans for his professionalism, class, and loyalty throughout his career and beyond. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the entire Anderson family." Just 53 years old, Woods.
Lord, dude.
The Angels have already announced plans to wear a patch this season and have a moment of silence tonight.
A patch this seat for the rest of the season.
Correct, GA, with a red circle around it.
Man, so yeah, looked like he had a heart attack yesterday.
Oh my God!
They've already got a patch and a moment of
You
silence.
said Garrett Anderson, and I just instantly I remember those early 2000s Angels teams. I go, Garrett Anderson, the baseball player,
dude.
Wow.
I loved his swing. Oh my God! It's like, listen, the left famous lefty swings of all time. I don't know how many people would put him up there, but I did. I thought he had a really sweet lefty swing. That's a bummer, man. Well, do it.
Paulie, I guess we have.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Oh, it's a huge bummer.
Yeah, hard to dislike him,
Yeah,
especially when he played for the
100%.
Angels, and you're like, it's a very non-offensive team.
Good
and
player, man.
Good player. Always liked watching him. That is a sad story here to lead off our 9 o'clock hour. A lot coming up, including a Jared Diamond from the Wall Street Journal, his reporting on the potential sale of the San Diego Padres. First, though, it is time for our management report on a Friar Friday, brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It is better. And joining us right now is the president of baseball operations, general manager of the San Diego Padres, AJ Preller. Good morning, AJ. I guess I have to ask you immediately about the potential of having a new big boss, and I'd imagine you have to say no comment on that story.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, it's been the process, been very public in terms of the sale of the team. So again, I think it's going to be exciting to have some direction and clarity. And I think if the reports are accurate, I think it's a testament to the idea over the last 10 plus years that this is a major market, and you can do a lot of great things in San Diego, and that concept that I think it's a testament to a lot of hard work by a lot of people in the organization, and obviously the teams that have gone out and played really well. That a lot of groups it sounds like they were super excited and wanted to own the Padres. So that's always a good thing, and I think a testament to the fans of San Diego that this has become as big as any baseball market in the game, and a crown jewel franchise. So it's really cool to be a part of, and hopefully super exciting for everyone with the Padres and the fans of San Diego.
Just quickly, no need to get into specifics, but did you get a chance to meet any of the bidders buying during this process at all?
Yeah, we on the baseball side, our focus is really with the team, and just and the roster and all the work that we have. We did get an opportunity in spring training for 2 afternoons to sit down with the finalists for a little bit. They had some questions about, again, they're buying into a baseball team. So, it was a little bit like speed dating, but I had a chance to do that. But most of the work, done through the group that the Seidler family had hired, and then, Eric and his team at the office, and we were able to focus on the baseball side of things.
Talking to AJ Preller here on Ben and Woods this morning. Just one more in the same vein from me, AJ. If the reports are true, and this gentleman takes over and he goes down and sets up his office, and he pings your line, hey, my office 9 a.m. and you come and sit down and you're meeting with the new owner, and he asks you, all right, give me kind of the skinny on how things work around here and what I need to focus on. What would you tell him?
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is, the excitement and the passion that, that a lot of people in the organization have for winning championships and creating something special here. I talk about the big stage and that being the World Series. And, I think we have so many great people in the organization, and I think that's why we've been able to have a sustained run of success. So I think any new ownership group, getting to know those people in the building, obviously getting to know our players and our staff, it's huge. So it's, but again, it starts with with having really great people that have a big time passion for winning and are really good at what they do. And I'm sure the new group is going to be super excited to meet everybody and hopefully everybody on the same page to go bring a championship to San Diego.
AJ, let's talk a little bit about last night. Another good starting pitching performance from Walker Buehler. And, as fans, we're kind of impatient sometimes. I think some of us were ready to turn the page on Walker Buehler after 2 innings this season. In your perspective, obviously you have to have a little more patience and perspective, but how do you balance how quickly you need to react versus how much time you can give a guy to find their footing in a season? How do you balance that as general manager?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I think the last time we were on and talked was that opening day in Boston. So that's, I think, probably 2 weeks ago or so, and a lot of changes and really a day or two in baseball. So you have to, it's hard not to ride that wave. Every night you kind of get excited, good, bad, fair, and with what you see at 7:00, but it's baseball, so I think it's, usually everything kind of works out at the end of it. Guys that are hitting, 150 now will be hitting 300 by midseason and at times vice versa. So, I think you try to just use the experience of the group, lean on obviously Ruben and Ben Fritz. They've done a great job at Walker. And more importantly, he continues to want to learn and grow as a pitcher. And, his stuff has been really good the last 2 outings. His command's been good. He's gotten us deep in, he's gotten us into the game in a winning spot. And I'm glad for him. He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball, and last couple of years have been a struggle. So I'm sure it's a really good feeling for him to go out and contribute. And he knows that this is a competition here, and that, he's not going to, again, he's got to help the team. And, he's not on a, huge contract for a ton of years. And, he knows he's got something to prove, and he's going out and continues to get better. So I'm really glad for him, because he's put the work in and he's seeing the results here right now.
You don't sound anything like the person we talked to 2 weeks ago.
True. I still have a cold somehow, but the voice is. It's been about a month-long cold here, so I thought I finally got rid of it, and I don't know. You may hear me sniffling a little bit. We'll see, but the voice is better for sure.
Well, they say winning literally cures everything. So eighth straight. It's been amazing. I told the fellas this morning, I'm like, what an easy week. You just come in and hey, another dub. I'm so impressed with the squad, how they're playing right now, AJ. But your manager is a guy that got a lot of scrutiny early on. The hire had scrutiny, and certainly his chapter is not written yet. But this is a nice little run. What's you don't have to compare him to other managers, but what has been for you, seeing how he interacts with the team, how the players react and respond to him, the shuffling of the lineups, the getting guys rest, how's it been overall for you watching him kind of blossom into this role the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Craig, again, I think a lot of familiarity between, Craig and the organization, and obviously myself. So, but I think probably the biggest thing is just very genuine. He's very comfortable in his skin. I think you see in the, in the post-game press conferences and to the media, he's honest. If he did something that he feels like he could have done better, he just says, yeah, probably could have done that a little bit better, et cetera. And that's the way he is behind closed doors, and he's like that with the staff. And the staff is super connected and together, which is great to see. We've got a lot of talented coaches on staff, and people that put a lot of time into it. And I think with the players, he's very consistent, and I think he hasn't been afraid to try some different things and then admit if I could have maybe tried something different or new. And now he's kind of settled in on something that's been working for a while. So I think those are all good traits in a leader. He's got a lot of really good leadership traits. He's doing a really good job. And again, I think it's been a really, I think it's been a good run, both spring training and the early part of the season. And he'll be the first to admit he's going to be better in a couple months than he is now, and that's exciting to see.
I know both Craig Stammen and Nick Pivetta said they expect Nick to pitch again this season. Aren't quite sure how long it's going to take to get him back on the mound. But from your perspective, can you rely on that, or do you have to operate as though maybe Nick Pivetta won't be back, and you have to make plans in case that he isn't able to make it back to the mound later?
Yeah, I think with Nick, again, he's I think we know his work ethic, we know his determination. I think he's got a track record of being healthy, which is usually a good sign. And you're also always planning, whether or not, guys are on an IL stint or not. You've got to always be ready for, next man up scenarios and be in a spot where you have depth and guys that can cover in case there are injuries. So that's always a big part of the challenge. But, again, I think for Nick, he knows what's in front of him. He's going to go on the rehab route right now, and hopefully avoid having to do any kind of surgery and be back and pitch. So I think we're excited to see that. We know he's very in tune with his body. He's a super hard worker, and he's getting the best medical attention and advice. But I think from our standpoint, we'd like to pencil Nick in and see him back here in Petco here at some point in the near term. But you've got to be ready, especially on the pitching front. You've got to be ready for the twists and turns of the season, and we're always trying to look at depth and trying to make sure we have enough to get through the year and more so be successful on the field.
Talking to AJ Preller here on Ben and Woods this morning. One of the listeners earlier in the chat said, I need to know how many phones AJ Preller has. And I said, or was that AI?
That was AI. We weren't sure what to ask you because
question.
things were going so well. So we typed it into Chat GPT and it said, ask him how many phones he has.
How many phones do you have? My guess was 2.
I thought maybe 3.
No, just as one that's attached to my ear all the time.
Just the one.
Okay. Okay. So I said there's no way a guy with one phone could not text me back as much as he doesn't text me back. But apparently that is the case. So it's good to know. I thought maybe I text him on the wrong one that he doesn't check a lot. I'm not sure. So
no, I'm not the text. I'm not that old school. Actually, pick up the phone and call if it's important enough. Somebody's gonna actually call you and talk. And
you don't want that, AJ.
And you get the real thought process too. When you send those random texts, and I'm like, what's this guy talking about?
I feel like the door is
tone of that.
I feel like the door has been opened now.
I don't even let Woods call me, AJ. That's not a good idea.
AJ, as somebody on the receiving end of Woodsy's 3 phone calls an afternoon,
That's right.
You don't want that.
You don't want it, man. You don't want it, dude. It's bad. I love to chat.
Now, do you divide it up between personal and work? How do you get reimbursed in terms of the cell phone costs? Then if there's just the one.
Just one. I think just one on that front. But hopefully, maybe that caller ID comes in handy if I get that Woodsy call and go from there.
I'm gonna call him as soon as the show's over. Great, thanks for the interview, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, he doesn't like the pleasantries. I've realized, like, hey, thanks for your time today. Thanks for checking in. Just no response. It's fine. I'm used to it. It's good. It's our relationship. It's good.
You did, before you go, you did say something early in the interview that had me thinking since you said it. Have you actually done speed dating? Woods, have you ever tried speed dating?
No.
Does anyone do that anymore? Is that a thing?
Never done speed dating.
No, I think that's I don't know if that's a thing, honestly. I think
it is a thing.
That might be in the
they'd set up a lunch and you meet 7 people.
Yeah, that's the pre-text.
That might be in the pre-texting days. So.
All right, we're not going to ask him about his dating life. Thank you, AJ. We appreciate your time. Keep up the great work, and we know you're going to be working the phone. It just won't be with me, but we appreciate you every time you jump on with us. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy.
AJ Preller, our management report brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It is better every single Friday. I thought
that was
maybe
so uncomfortable.
I thought maybe you were had tried it like in the 90s,
Never.
like speed dating.
Never.
No.
I mean, he's done speed and gone dating.
I was just going to say he's done speed and dating.
I've speed dated, but I've not done speed dating.
I mean,
maybe even speed while dating.
They would like you go to like a hotel conference.
Yeah, I've seen the movies where they
set
do
up
it.
like tables and you'd like move from one to the other
For like
and
30 seconds or 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Hey,
talk to
how's it
someone
going?
and see if you can make a connection, and then you move on to the next one.
No, it was so weird to me because almost automatically, like if you sit down and if there's a connection or not, in my opinion, it's always been that way for me. It's like a feeling that you get if somebody that I was going to date, right? It's a feeling you get immediately. Now, if I got to sit there and vamp for 5 minutes on somebody I have no connection with, that's tough.
That's tough, but
really
you also
tough.
get a chance to meet like multiple people quickly, which can be, even if you go like to a bar to meet people, how many are you actually going to get to talk to a night? 2 or 3?
If it's you, none. If it's me, 3, 4,
right.
maybe.
But speed dating, you might get 10, 15 people all in like an hour, and you get a chance to make that connection with multiple people.
I guess I can't crap on it because I never did it. I mean, there's somebody that's probably found the love of their life at a speed dating thing. You know what I mean? But no, it was not for me. It was not for me at all.
just with the online, the app dating or whatever, back
dating.
when I was out there on the market, like I'd go out, you'd meet up at a bar or brewery or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I could pretty much tell within about 2 to 3 minutes.
Tinder is the ultimate refining of speed dating. You've gone down to just a picture and a profile and a quick decision in a few seconds.
Hitman here says, I'm single, 50 years old. Speed dating is still very popular among women. Men, not so much, which is a problem. Then that would lead me to believe if women are into it, then I would try speed dating at 50 if I was looking for love.
See, I don't know if I believe that, because anything a lot of women are into, men will get into, because
100%.
that's a way to meet a lot of women.
Yeah.
I can't believe men would, all these women are here, but I have no interest in being
I can't
here.
be seen as speed dating, but there's all these women here. They're looking for you. I don't know. Interesting.
And they're looking, which is like, that's part of the toughest part, right? Is to,
I would
know that they're even interested in looking to begin with.
I would do anything to run tape of you on with 15 women speed dating, just to see, like Adam said in the chat. Okay. I got.
It's good speed. I've got good speed.
Sure.
Fast conversations
would be. You vamping would be unbelievable. Like, did you know Tony Gwynn hit 368 one year? And I mean, it would be
self-esteem is low. How deep can I go?
He just starts rapping for them. So good. I can't believe you asked him that question. Holy cow. It made me nervous.
He's an interesting guy. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time. Obviously, he spends so much time working. But if he wants to meet someone, how are you going to do that? Like, maybe speed dating.
Say Ben saying, I've got good speed. Okay. There you go.
All right, let's take a quick time out. Still to come at the bottom of the hour, Jared Diamond from the Wall Street Journal, the reporting on the potential new owner of the Padres, Jose E. Feliciano, for a record $3.9 billion sale price. It is all coming up. We'll also look ahead to tonight's matchup. Tough one for the streaking San Diego Padres. All coming up next on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Our thanks again to A.J. Preller, Padres president of baseball operations and general manager, who sounded much healthier.
He did.
Than he did 2 weeks ago in Boston.
Indeed, yeah. And again, winning cures everything.
I like that line. That was a good line.
And it really does. Cures everything.
Nothing. It's things aren't perfect in the world of the San Diego Padres. They just feel that way because they are winning so many games right now.
Yeah, it's the nature of this dumb game, man. You could look up next week and we're lost 8 in a row. Not that would be hard to do in 7 days, but 10 days from now you could we've dropped 8 of 9. I mean, it's just the way that this game goes.
Today will be a massive test.
Big challenge,
of
man.
How hot the Padres are.
Brian Wu was a big challenge.
Well, think about this. Padres, this will be their 20th game, correct? Tonight they're 13-6.
Correct.
So in a quarter of their games, the Padres have faced arguably top 10 pitchers in the league in Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, Framber Valdez, Jose Soriano tonight,
Brian Wu, Emerson Hancock.
Luis Castillo's good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, not a top 10, but they have faced some of the toughest pitchers in baseball in their first 20 to put together a either 14-6 or 13-7 record, depending on, how they do tonight, considering how many really, really good pitchers they've matched up against. Logan Webb they faced already as well.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's...
Well, and they've been catching not just the pitching, but the teams have been on
Red
4
hot.
or 5, 6-game winning streaks and taking out other good teams right before the Padres face them. And, they're not scraping out these 2-1 wins. They're winning 5, 6, 7-run games.
You can get off to a hot start in 20 games, but if 3 of your series were against the Rockies and the White Sox, you go all right, let's wait until they actually play some people. Padres have played some people, including some really, really good pitching, and they've lost some of those games, but they've won enough to be 13-6 at this point. I don't know that they faced Paul Skeens, and honestly, the guy they're facing tonight might be tougher, at least right now.
Right now, this moment.
He actually might be tougher than Paul Skeens or Tarek Skubal in this very moment. Jose Soriano is pitching as well or better than anybody in baseball
he
right
is
now.
Leading baseball in ERA for starters. It's .33.
That's 1 run given up all season. Is that what that equates to, I believe?
4-0.
Yeah.
His whip is .67, also first. He's nasty. Whatever he's unlocked it. So
he's not quite Mason Miller, but he's also going a lot more innings.
Yeah,
So-
that's exactly right. He's Mason Miller-esque, though, from a starter's position this year. Ty France has actually hit him very well in his limited ABs against him. Manny Machado's touched him up for a bomb before. Very,
I'd imagine,
ABs.
though, that, that's something that Craig Stammen takes into consideration. There's a good chance Ty France will be in the lineup
Playing first base.
because he has hit him before.
Sheetsy, DH, and Andujar swinging it well. How do you get all those guys in? And
You can't get everybody in every day.
No, exactly. I don't know.
Is it time for someone to get a night off? I don't know. Is it Laureano's turn again? Is it someone else's turn to get a breather tonight?
Crony was the last day off he had.
A couple days ago when Tatis played second base.
That's right. That's right. So last Saturday, right? Saturday and Sunday, I think.
Yeah, I think Sunday was Crony's day off.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough to get everybody in, but you probably want lefties in there. So Sheets probably needs to be in there as a DH. And Andujar swinging it well. Ty France hit him well. So yeah, little bit of a conundrum.
Yeah, for sure.
But you get some defense in there with Ty France at first, certainly.
I'm actually...
Could be a low-scoring game.
I don't know how it's going to go. I'm not making a prediction. I'm excited to see Matt Waldron pitch.
Me too. I'm very excited to see him
I
pitch.
didn't really get to see him in spring training. I heard the good things, and then he got shut down and made a couple of late starts, and now has been in El Paso, and I haven't really seen the video, only the results, 12 shutout innings, which is not nothing. And even it's AAA. In that league, 12 shutout innings is something you're doing something right if you're pitching that well. Love to see how it translates on the big league level, what the command looks like. Can he control the excitement, the emotions here, getting back to the big leagues? This guy's only made, one start since 2024?
Yeah.
Only made one start last season. So this is a huge night and a huge opportunity for Matt Waldron to potentially, with Nick Pivetta out, a couple of months at least, it looks like, to get back into a major league starting rotation and stick around for a while at this point. All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, Jared Diamond from the Wall Street Journal. I am looking at his article right now. He's updated it on the sale of the San Diego Padres to Jose E. Feliciano for $3.9 billion. That is coming up next here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please
Just a
don't.
little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Big news this morning for San Diego Padres fans. Welcome back to Ben and Woods. We're on the home of the Padres, 97.3 The Fan. The news broken by the Wall Street Journal this morning that the Padres set to be sold to billionaire Jose E. Feliciano and his wife, Kwanzaa Jones, for a sale price coming in at $3.9 billion. And the person who broke that story for the Wall Street Journal, Jared Diamond, joins us now here on our SDCCU fan hotline. Jared, appreciate the time this morning. If you take us through just kind of the reporting that you've done this morning and how it's kind of led up to this point for the San Diego Padres in their sale.
It's quite a big day in the history of the San Diego Padres for sure. So, as you mentioned, it looks like they've got a deal. Jose Feliciano and his wife, Kwanzaa Jones, going to buy the team. They emerged from a group of quite a few bidders that were willing to pay quite a bit. And we've heard that there were multiple bids of $3.5 billion or more for the Padres. You've probably heard of some of the other people that were involved, guys like Joe Lacob, who's the owner of the Warriors, and Dan Friedkin was another name that kept popping up, but ultimately it was Feliciano and his wife who emerged victorious. And it's a big number. $3.9 billion for baseball. It's not just a record, it's record shattering. The largest purchase for a baseball team until this was about $2.4 billion. That was the Mets, Steve Cohen, back in 2020. So it's been 6 years since then. The Padres just beat that number by $1.5 billion. The San Diego Padres are now the most expensive baseball team ever to be sold in the history of the sport by a huge margin. And I think that just says it's an incredible testament to what Peter Seidler did to the Padres. He bought the team with Ron Fowler for $800 million back in 2012. And now they're being sold for $3.9 billion. It's really unbelievable.
I don't think I was panicked, Jared, until you just laid it out like that. And now I went, all right, if you spend that much money on a team, you're going to want to make a lot of money back. How does one do that? I think winning, obviously, it was Peter Seidler's methodology. If you put a winning product and an exciting, entertaining product on the field, you'll get 42,000 on a Tuesday night against the Marlins. And we do that. We do that here in San Diego all the time. But holy cow, I mean, that's a lot of money. What do you know about him personally? Does he love to win? Is he breaking away maybe from where he is in Chelsea? Like, do you have any information on that?
So I think it's important to note that while he's obviously involved in Chelsea, that is not his personal investment, right? Chelsea is owned by a group that involves others. With Clear Lake, his private equity firm. This is his own private investment. This is not owned by
on the Mercedes-Benz thing. You're just going to take.
Well, sorry about that. What was that?
I don't know. Padres to be owned by him and his wife personally. So there is a difference there.
Okay.
With Chelsea, look, yes, they've taken some criticism for how they've run the team in Chelsea. No question about it. But I do think it's important to note that spending money has not necessarily been the criticism. They've shown a willingness to spend in Chelsea. And like you mentioned, he's buying into an asset with the Padres that has shown a winning formula. The Padres, the San Diego Padres, have ranked in the top 5 in attendance in Major League Baseball each of the last 5 seasons. It's going to be 6 seasons when this year's over. They currently rank number 2. He is buying into something that is working. Now, are there going to be changes? I'm sure there's going to be changes. Every time someone buys a team, there are changes. I have no idea what it's going to mean for the Padres payroll. We've already seen in recent years the payroll start to go down a little bit from the highs that it was in sort of the height of Peter Seidler's spending. But I do believe what has been proven with the Padres is, will they be the number 3 or 4 payroll team under Feliciano? I can't promise you they will, but do I think they're going to remain where they are now, going to sort of remain in that top 10? I do, because it's shown that it could work, right? They've shown that it could work. They show that when they spend, it brings people to the ballpark. I just don't see why you come in and change a formula that really is working for this team. The one thing I do know about Feliciano, he has made it in our reporting, it's become very clear that he intends to move sort of the bulk, or at least I don't want to say the bulk. I don't want to get into specifics, but a large portion of his philanthropic efforts, move them to San Diego. Our understanding is he intends to start investing a lot in the San Diego community. He's obviously not a San Diego person, which I think always is a concern when you have a new owner, but by all accounts, he is prepared to sort of start spending and giving in the San Diego community, which I think is critical for a new owner. So I think that's a good sign. And beyond that, we'll have to wait and see. But I do think it's important to realize the reason people were spending so much on the Padres is the Padres were a desirable asset, and they were a desirable asset in large part because of the success they're having.
Good news. Peter Seidler came and invested heavily philanthropically in San Diego, of course. So it would be nice to see that tradition carried on. We're talking to Jared Diamond. He broke the story in the Wall Street Journal about the Padres sale. And Jared, you had some more reporting about the couple. This is a power couple, and they're entering into this together, which is going to be history making in Major League Baseball if it goes through.
Yes, that's fascinating. So Feliciano and his wife are going to be equal economic. They have equal economic stake in the Padres. It really is going to be a partnership in terms of the financial ownership of the team. His wife is named Kwanzaa Jones. It's a name you'll be certainly hearing a lot about as well over the next few weeks and months and years. For the purposes of Major League Baseball, Jose Feliciano is going to be the control person. There's going to be one, right? There's going to be one control person, the person who actually votes on things in the eyes of MLB. That for now is going to be Feliciano. Jose Feliciano is going to be the first Puerto Rican majority owner in Major League history. Kwanzaa Jones is going to be the first African-American majority owner in Major League history. So that's very cool. I mean, I think it's great when you see that kind of diversity coming into the sport. You want ownership that looks like the people that live in your community and go to your games and represent your fan base. So I think that's only a positive thing. And in general, it just shows that there was this much interest in the Padres. Just shows how desirable of a franchise they are, right? They play in San Diego. They play in a city where you are the only show in town when it comes to major professional sports. You play in one of the best ballparks in the game, and a ballpark that you could use 365 days a year because of the incredible weather in San Diego. That's why the team sold for $3.9 billion, because people with a lot of money see San Diego, they see the Padres, they see the winning, they see the ballpark, they see the city, and go, that is a place where I could really build something, grow something. And Peter Seidler saw that, and you hope that Jose Feliciano sees it too. I don't think he'd be paying this much money if he didn't.
Jared, finally, there were three, obviously you mentioned other potential bidders who don't get the Padres. I wonder if that leaves other teams interested in going, well, I would sell my team. They've got some buyers who've got the money together already. If this sparks a bit of a run on teams interested in selling at this point.
Yeah, it's a good question. Joe Lacob obviously has been tied to baseball previously. He was incredibly interested in buying the A's and keeping them in Oakland, which obviously didn't work out because the Fisher family was unwilling to sell, and we all know how that played out. They're going to be the Las Vegas A's in a few years. I think a lot is going to depend on what happens in labor, right? I think if you're an owner right now, you are very curious what the next CBA looks like, how it changes your fortune. If we could spend an hour talking about the next CBA, but let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, the owners get what they want, and they do get a salary cap, right? I'm not saying that's likely. I don't know. It's too soon to say, but let's say it happens and a salary cap comes to baseball. The valuation of every single baseball team will soar through the roof that day. They would double. I mean, it would change everything for the valuation of teams if there's a salary cap. So if you're an owner, I understand, let's wait and see how this goes. Where do we end up in labor? I think that's going to make a big determination as to, will you see a bunch of teams selling? I don't think we're going to see a run on anything until we get through the labor dispute.
Jared, really appreciate your time. Huge story. Great work on that. And thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Anytime. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Thank you, sir.
Jared Diamond from the Wall Street Journal on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. It is better. Let's react a little bit to what we just heard after a quick final check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Sue Aller.
Well, looks like we have an accident. It's in the center divider of the 805 South, right at Governor Drive. So that will slow you down just a bit. But good news on the 5 southbound at Santa Fe Drive. This accident has finally been cleared away. Other than that, you're in great shape. No slowdowns to tell you about on the 15. The 125 looks good. So does the 54 and the 94. I'm Sue Alder with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, some big additional reporting there from Jared Diamond, including the fact that both Jose Feliciano and his wife, Kwanzaa Jones, will be equal partners on the team. She is the CEO of her own company as well as the head of like the philanthropic side of their family arm, which means if they're going to be bringing a lot, that's the other big thing, bringing the philanthropy down to San Diego. That's huge for our entire community.
Encouraging.
I mean, that is such good news to hear, and hopefully, that follows through. But these people have tons of money, and we'll see what kind of causes that they're interested in investing in and what that's going to go to. But sounds like they want to be a part of the San Diego community, just like Peter Seidler did, and that's tremendously potential good news for the Padres and our whole community.
Yeah, no question. Again, tough shoes to fill, right? Really, really tough shoes to fill in Peter Seidler's. Was a guy that did not mind going down and getting his hands dirty as well. Like he would get right there in the mix. And so, yeah, that is very encouraging. The thought of them breaking away, from the other group and like, no, that was where this is this, and we're going to commit to this fully. Yeah. I mean, we here's the soup, guys. Do you want the soup or don't you want the soup? You eat the soup.
I mean, we talked about when this whole process began, we're like, hey, make no mistake. All right. We all want them to sell to, the steward of San Diego. They're going to do great things for the community. And we said, hey, they're going to sell to the highest bidder.
Correct.
Like, this is still money in business. Sure. And if somebody says $5 billion, they're not going to give a damn about what he does around the ballpark and for the city. They're going to take the $5 billion offer. But hearing that from Jared Diamond just now, it made me think like, man, if Peter were able to hand pick somebody, this sounds like the kind of person that he would want to take over the Padres.
Yeah, I sure hope so. At the end of the day, I sure hope that that's the case. And again, obviously, actions speak much louder than words, and really not even words. We haven't heard a word from him or his wife yet at all. So again, I will reserve excitement / judgment until we hear them speak. I want to hear, listen, eyewash is important. You have to say all the right things on day one. You have to. You have to. We have a commitment to winning. We have a commitment to San Diego. So that's all I need. I think that would go for the
shortest press conference ever.
Majority of fans out there. I'm committed to San Diego, and I'm committed to bringing a world championship here. The first world championship for the San Diego Padres. That's my mission.
I thought
done. You win.
Yeah, I thought what Jared said about the CBA, and if there was a salary cap, it's estimation, obviously, but that like franchise values would double.
Crazy, right?
Which is why it's going to be so hard to get a deal, because if players know that, they're going to hold that over the owner's hands. Oh, you want a salary cap to double the value of your $4 billion franchises? Well, what are you going to give us? Because it's going to take a lot for us to just hand you
double,
billions and billions of dollars worth of value by agreeing to a salary cap.
Yep.
Not an easy process coming up for the players and the owners at the end of this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how it all plays out. But I think ultimately it's a good day right now. I think there's reason to be cautiously optimistic. I don't think you can say, look what's going on with Chelsea. That will obviously affect what's going on with the San Diego Padres, because again, if it's a different idea, it's a different venture for him entirely, one that he does in a family way with his wife, then great, let's do that. And we'll see how it plays out. But I think that ultimately it's a good day right now. Right?
I think so.
Right now.
From what I've heard so far this morning, I'm encouraged. I saw some people concerned. We had the whole John Morris fiasco when he got divorced and he had to split the assets. It really torched the Padres for several years.
Frank McCourt, all of it.
We're going down the road where it's going to be a husband and wife equal partnership. You kind of cheer for that relationship to stay stable and together and not impact the San Diego Padres. And I can't tell you that I have no idea about the personal side of these things, but that is a real concern. But it may never materialize as something to worry about, and it may, but that's a real thing. So, yeah, I mean, I get why people would see that, because we've been burned by that before in San Diego.
Absolutely. Then baseball could come in, bail us out, let a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate pay off our debts, and then buy the best players in the world. That's the goal. That's the goal. So there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You get a couple of bailouts from baseball, a couple of exemptions, a couple of special rules, and go out and win world championships. Now we're talking. That's how it's done. There's a blueprint for how this all works. It's right up the road. So in case something does go south, Benny, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
And Jared reporting that an announcement is expected early next week if everything goes smoothly.
Sounds good.
And at that point, they will begin the process of getting approval by the other Major League Baseball owners. That could take several weeks, but in all likelihood, if he gets approval, by probably June, certainly before the All-Star break, Padres should have a new controlling owner of the team, and you can start seeing their path forward to what they want to do.
Exciting.
It is
exciting.
Yeah, it is.
It's exciting.
Padres baseball this weekend. Obviously, we will be back Monday morning, so we'll have any new news on the sale. We'll have the results from the games against the Angels. Also, SDFC game tomorrow at Real Salt Lake at 6:30 p.m. We'll be able to talk about that and wish good luck to a couple of our local teams. The Seals play at home tonight at Pechanga Arena. Very big one. If they win their last two games today and tomorrow against Las Vegas, they're in the playoffs. If they split, they can still get in with help, but they kind of need to win this one tonight. And the Sockers play in the playoffs tonight in St. Louis, and then they're home at Front Wave Arena on Sunday with a chance to advance into the Ron Newman Cup indoor finals. So plenty of local activities, and of course, a lot of Tier 1s and Padres fans going to be heading up to Anaheim this weekend for any and all of the games.
Yeah, indeed. I'll be at the baseball field all weekend if you need me for 3 straight days. It's going to be electric.
Your baseball field, your Little League baseball
Little League,
field.
man. I'll be there the whole time. Can't wait.
Lots of games to get to.
Lots of games to get to.
Yeah, what an eventful week. How many weeks have we had where we've had 0 San Diego Padres losses? I mean, the last time they won 7 in a row, it was spanned 2 different weeks because it was opening day to like the next Thursday.
That's right.
Very few weeks do we have where we don't have a single loss to talk about. And if the Padres do happen to sweep the Angels, I'm not saying it's going to happen, we'd be coming back at 11
on Monday. Let's do it.
11 in the grap up in the
says
wins.
no?
Who says no to that?
Would be incredible.
Man, I'm just looking forward to the possibility on Monday morning of hearing 11 straight I love winnings. It's better than losing.
I mean, win this series straight up. You know, keep winning series.
You're on the road. You're not looking.
Keep winning series.
You just want to win as many series as possible. All right, that's it for us. Braden and Frank coming up next. I see my former colleague Joe Little is out in the hallway with his TV camera from NBC7 as well. I don't know what they're doing, but we're keeping it covered for you right here. For Paulie, for Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Friday from all of us here at 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.